What up, y'all?
Welcome back, Weedy.
What's good? So, yeah. The plan today was to start my new segment called Commentation, where you confront the commenters, but both people that I had planned to do that are not responding. I hit them up last night to see, if they were still available. Nothing. Wake up this morning, nothing. I even said something to them the day before. because I was free. That day I streamed, what was that, Tuesday? I was supposed to work, but I didn't end up working. And I was like, free today? No response. No response again. I ain't saying people scared or nothing like that, but I don't know. They knew what I was doing. I said it. I said I plan this I think I planned this Sunday or Monday. I was like, yeah, Thursday I'm streaming. We could talk about how stupid I am. You feel me? So, but here we are. But it's all good. We still got some stuff to cover, man. We still got content. We still got content. Oh yeah, for those that don't know that's in here right now, man, make sure you sub. Make sure you send the videos, the live streams to your friends. Bunny Zombie, I ain't seen you around here in a minute. What's good? Good afternoon. Send the stream to your friends that you think will be interested. If you're interested in the content, you might have friends that's interested in it, whether it be the lives or the videos. I'm trying to get 5,000 subs by the 4th of July. Well, the 4th of July. And then if I can make that goal, I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream. I don't even know why I'm saying this. I don't even know if I honestly could do that, y'all. So me and sleep relationship is crazy. But I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream if I can get 5,000 subs by the 4th of July. That's the goal. 5,000 subs by the 4th of July. Nova, was good with you. Appreciate you for coming through again, man. Yeah, so like I said, share the videos, share the streams with your friends, hop in the Discord, engage with the community. We be having fun. Before we get into the stupidity of Terrence Howard, where Professor Dave can provide us with laughs, I'm certain. Let's watch something that I found very entertaining. Jasmine Crockett was cooking shit at this hearing. It's all good, Bunny. You here. You here when you can be. You watching the vids. That's all I can ask for. Can't ask for nothing more. Yeah, so let's watch Jasmine Crockett do her thing as she usually do, man. I know they sick of her. This ain't that long, though. We're going to get to the Terrence Howard video right after this. This is not long.
Thank you so much. It is so interesting that I just learned today at 44 years old that the Republicans are going to be the ones to save women. The same Republicans that have been, say, for women's reproductive acts, or the same Republicans that have stood for the Equal Rights Act, which would hopefully get women to equal pay, or the same Republicans that just this Congress voted for the SAVE Act, which we know would disenfranchise women from even being able to vote. But let me tell you, they are our saviors, and so I am so happy to be here today, because otherwise I would not have an idea that I had a savior in the Republicans. So let's also talk about the fact that it's only been 100 days, 100 long, terrible days for anybody that absolutely believes in reality, because what we know is that they have terminated staff responsible for enforcing federal protections against sex-based discrimination. Sounds like that's pro-women. Or they've cut funding for domestic violence survivor services. Sounds pro-woman to me. Or they've prohibited funding for research affecting women's health. That definitely sounds pro-women to me. Essentially, they closed the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights. Again, sounds like they are fighting for us. And instead of providing oversight over these actions, congressional Republicans have been working to execute one of the most aggressive anti-women legislative agendas in history. And yet, they're here today trying to...
I just love how Trump calls somebody like this, stupid and unintelligent. Like, I don't care if you don't like her aesthetics. I know that's what it really comes down to. They don't like her aesthetic or her tone or the way she speaks like a black person. But it's just funny that she can speak like this, and the word that he chooses to call her is unintelligent. That's crazy.
Convince the American people that discriminating against trans people is somehow the only way to protect women.
And that is crazy. And that's what be pissing me off. Like when Piers does that stupid shit every time he has somebody on the left on his show. But what about trans women in sports? They think you're crazy. Well, y'all are crazy for trying to take abortion away from women. Like, you talking about protecting women, and there's like 7 trans people playing sports at a high level across the whole country. Like, cut it out. Cut it the fuck out.
Has nothing to do with improving government efficiency. It's another attempt by Republicans to distract from their demonic and disastrous policies that are making it more difficult for Americans to make ends meet. So, Miss Goss Graves, I want to play a game. It's called Trump or Trans. You ready?
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question. And
And Kamala passed the bar. Trump, please do it. You bragging on passing a cognitive test. Did you know the difference between a mouse and an elephant? You bragging about that. Take the bar for all these unintelligent people. Take the bar, Trump. Fuck.
I want you to tell me whether or not it is Trump or trans people that are responsible. You understand?
Got it.
Okay, very good. The first one, gutted medical research.
Trump.
Kidnapping Americans and sending them to foreign countries, a.k.a. deporting them.
Trump.
Driving us into a recession.
Trump.
Increasing the cost of everything.
Trump.
Waging an idiotic tariff war.
Trump.
Harming farmers.
Trump.
Ignoring the Constitution.
Trump.
Proposing to take away Social Security.
Trump.
Cutting health care.
Trump.
Firing government workers who keep our country safe.
Trump.
Encouraging an environment of hate and divisiveness.
Trump.
Thank you so much. This committee could be engaged in actual oversight of fraud, waste, abuse, and mismanagement. So let's talk about waste. Like Trump's plan to spend almost $100 million for his little birthday parade. Or
little
how
birthday
he spent
parade.
25% of his first 100 days golfing, costing taxpayers...
Yo, this gut, fam. I didn't see this at first. The clip I saw it ended with the Trump or trans stuff. This random lady smirking. Yo, there's no way that's his gut. This got to be AI. This has got to be AI, bro. Fam, this gut. Oh my God. Oh my God. They said 4, Trump's second term is a hole in your pocket. Excuse me. Good play on words. Good play on words. Oh my goodness. Yeah. For them to be talking about saving money and he wants this parade shit, that's unjustifiable. Like, there's no excuse for that parade shit. Oh my God. This stomach is killing me, bro. I really wonder if that's his stomach. I'm finna see if I can find that
Tens of millions of dollars. In fact, it's a little bit over 30 million at our last estimation. In fact, President Trump is on pace to spend more than $1 billion of taxpayer dollars just on golfing. Yet the Republicans...
He got a gut, but it don't look like this. They definitely enhanced that motherfucker. Look at it. Cause I'm like, bro, that stomach is crazy, bro. It's there though. He is in peak condition, right? Get in my belly. He's in peak. Come on, bro. We know this ain't peak. And for him to always be talking about Biden is in better shape than him, and Barack is definitely in better shape than both of them. But I mean, hey, he's the oldest president we'll ever have if he finishes his term. Well, he 2 years younger than Biden or 4? I don't remember. But yeah, he got a gut pretty wide. But this is crazy though. I think that's AI.
So they
What's
must
good,
think spending
PTJ?
taxpayer dollars on the president's golfing trips is more important than providing health care to their constituents. And when I talk about constituents, we're going to talk about the ones on this committee. So if we look at Texas 26, 39,000 children look to potentially lose their Medicaid with the cuts that they are about to vote on for reconciliation. 88,000 in Georgia 3, 68,000 in
The
Missouri
diaper.
7, 79,000 in Tennessee 2, 86,000 in South Carolina 4, 50,000 in Texas 04, 85,000 in Texas 27, and in Georgia 14, 111,000. And if you add that up just on this committee, we have 606,000 kids that are relying on us to do right by them. And instead, we playing these crazy games because we worried about 10 trans folk that are in sports right now in college. I wasn't elected to be engaged in these fights. I was elected to make sure that those kids, the kids that they are about to neglect with these terrible votes that they're about to take,
That one
I
little
was
ear.
elected to protect them and to make sure that
it
they
ain't
could
little.
grow up and have
Them
all
ears
the
ain't little.
opportunities. But let's keep on track. Now,
He said she got that one
when we
little
look
ear
at-
out.
how much they are
Hilarious.
spending on, let's look at fraud. We could investigate whether the White House and the members of this subcommittee engaged in insider trading and market manipulation. Maybe it's a coincidence that the chairwoman brought hundreds
She
of
ain't never
thousands of
got
dollars
Marjorie
worth of
face
stock
on
the
here.
day before Trump-
Oh shit. Capitol Hill or Wall Street. Can I see that? Marjorie Taylor Greene bought stock in I can't read what company that is on April 7th. On April 17th, a $30 million deal between Palantina, I think, and ICE was announced. Green sits on the House Committee on Homeland Security. The stock has now risen 48% in the 3 weeks since her purchase. Bad Bill Beach, what you say? Bleach blonde, bad Bill Butch body. She snapped. She snapped like that. She snapped with that
a
shit.
90-day pause on tariffs, but I guess we'll never know. So finally, let's talk about abuse. Like how the Republicans have let Elon steal data of
Hey,
America.
this Randall lady is having a fucking ball to the left. She is having a ball right now. We're seeing her cook like that. Yeah, these posters is crazy.
And his competitors to make himself even richer. Look, don't
Wait, did Marjorie audition for American Idol or Jasmine? Which one?
let these hearings distract you from their destruction. This is a rage
Garcia,
baiting
they
this is
cheesing.
rage baiting instead of conducting oversight over the issues that Americans actually care about. And with that, I will yield.
Man,
He said to me at
I
one
love
point,
her. I love her. Yep. She doing what need. Oh my God. Wait a minute. We finna look at that. Hold on. We finna look at that. Ain't no way. Oh shit.
My name is Stephanie Sugarman. I'm from Altaloma, California.
Stephanie Sugarman? People think it's her, but it wasn't her. That looks like her. Maybe not. Stephanie Sugarman. Are we sure that was her? Okay, so that's not her. That's not her. It looks like Snopes said that's not her. In early September 2022, a video went viral that showed a young blonde woman auditioning for the television single competition American Idol, which first aired in 2002. The reason the video gained so much popularity in 2022, a full 2 decades after the particular episode of the air, was because the woman bore a physical resemblance of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, so that's not her. Okay. I was going to say, she do look like her. Right, J-Mac, right. Fuck facts. Like, that shit don't matter. This Marjorie. It don't matter. That's Marjorie. That's what MAGA do, right? It doesn't matter what really happened. It's just what we thinking, what we want to say. Fuck it. That's Marjorie. You're right, J-Mac. Good shit. That's Marjorie. Look at me trying to be honest, even for people I despise. How dare I do that? What was I thinking? Trying to just be objective. Shoot. I don't know why I even did that.
Hey everyone, many of you saw my recent video making fun of Terrence Howard on the PBD podcast. Well, the very next day after I put that one out, he appeared on Bill Maher's show spewing much of the same crap. At first I thought it'd be overkill to cover it, but then I remembered how much I can't stand Bill Maher, and I realized that this would be a great opportunity to make fun of him too. So I decided to do it. But Dave, shouldn't you love Bill Maher? He did all that stuff against religious dogma, and he's such a smart, hip, liberal dude. No, he's an obnoxious, anti-woke, curmudgeonly asshole who's been completely captured by the right over the past few years, along with dozens of other pseudo-intellectuals. And he is also constantly defending Israel's genocide of
College makes you
Palestinians,
stupid.
which single-handedly
said that
bumps him
one.
up to deserving of being crapped on relentlessly. So today we get a 2-for-1. Anyway, the fact that Bill had Terry on his show is hilarious to me. That Rogan would have him on makes perfect sense. Rogan almost exclusively platforms charlatans at this point. PBD is a scammer, so that's not a surprise either. But for Bill to do it, it's just him announcing loud and clear that he's done even pretending to be an intellectual. He's just an angry old man trying to seem hip by riding whatever is trending and dousing it in his superiority complex. So let's get started.
How are you?
Such a pleasure, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, you hold up well. Look at
You
that.
look at you, something,
Look at that.
man. I don't know how you did that. I'm like,
Weed.
yeah, well,
Weed. Never got married.
well, I did that 4 times.
I went all to clean liquor.
Sheesh.
Ooh, see, now I owe mine to just sheer defiance. They've wanted me to grow old and die so many times.
Who's they?
The whole system.
What a unique blend of delusions we are setting up here right from the handshake. A fine bouquet. Congratulations abound, while everyone watching acknowledges that Terry looks ridiculous as always, while Bill looks precisely like the senior citizen that he is. Bill brags about substances and bachelorhood, while Terry brings up his multiple wives he's beaten up, and then immediately launches into the faceless, nameless boogeyman, they, and the system that's
multiple
keeping him
wives
down.
he
This should
beating
go
up.
well.
I disrupt shit.
Jesus.
But that's why we like you. I mean, that's why they like me.
I'm going to need to see some evidence that people
Make
like
sure y'all
you,
hit that
Bill.
like button if
Also,
y'all in
towing
here,
the
man.
line for imperialist settler colonialism isn't exactly disrupting anything.
Rappers, they're all so tough.
Damn,
until
that
you hear
chair
their
do
real name.
sink. Yeah,
Yeah.
he do
Oh,
sink
until you
into the
see him,
chair.
man.
Like Terrence don't look how he looks in that chair. Bill Maher, like he had like 3 inches over him in height, but yeah, Terrence don't look all little in the chair like Bill.
Puffy party.
Oh.
Then they're not tough no more. I'm surprised that the rap game is still alive.
It looks like Terry is now going to bring up Puff Daddy on every podcast he ever does.
It's so funny how Dave is so out of touch with hip hop. He called him Puff Daddy. Granted, Terrence did say Puff, but nobody says Puff Daddy anymore.
In this case, only 2 minutes in, and the reason is obvious. In order for a narcissistic serial wife beater to look good, he has to stand next to a serial rapist guilty of sex trafficking. Yes,
This is
Terry, you're
crazy because nobody ever talks about Terrence's allegations. I don't even know if he's ever been found convicted of that.
not as bad as Puffy. You're still a
don't
horrible
know.
person.
It's
I
just,
know I
it's
heard
just,
about
it's a way to have, Jing, I drink it. It's a way to have diet soda without any chemicals. RFK recommends it.
Ah, yes, the old blatant product placement while referencing a total maniac destroying public health. What do you think these idiots have to say about RFK?
What happened to him, man?
Oh, Puffy?
RFK.
Oh, RFK.
No, what happened to him? He was so against MMR vaccine, so against it. And then he gets into the office, and I've seen him. I've met him. Did they pull something out on him?
First of all, just to get confirmed, he probably had to say a few things that he's not completely on the page with. But, you know, he sat here, and we talked for a long time, and
Oh yeah, that nigga was hitting women. The Terrence, like, it ain't even just the allegation. Cause I never really looked into the it's arrested in 2001 for charges related to a violent attack on his estranged wife, including assault, terroristic threats, harassment, and stalking. According to police reports, he arrived at her house after an argument on the phone, forced entry into her home by breaking in the doors, and chased her in the backyard where he punched her in the face twice. The violent attack ended when Howard's brother stepped in. In 2002, he pleaded guilty to disturbing the peace. That's all he got for that? What? Then this one, in 2013, Gent, I guess one of his wives, obtained a second restraining order against him after showing up in court with a black eye she said he gave her. In 2015, Howard admitted to hitting his first wife in 2001, saying she was talking to me real strong and I lost my mind and slapped her in front of kids. Like, he ain't do that shit as a young man. He's a grown as hell, and this is a pattern of behavior. Jesus Christ.
he said to me at one point,
A cowboy that
I said something
scam.
about anti-vaxxer, and he said, "That's what you think I am?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And that's coming from someone who's been called
A
an
portable
anti-vaxxer a lot.
fan.
And no, it's all how you define this. I don't think I'm an anti-vaxxer. I think vaccines are a great tool that we have. I just don't want everyone you come up with. I want to be able to make that decision for myself
Yeah.
based on my personal health profile.
Well, you
you
kind of do. You don't have to get every vaccine.
can. So only anti-vaxxers whine like this instead of
Right.
acknowledging that it's not an issue. Nobody
Exactly.
forced
Like,
anyone
it's
at
so
gunpoint to
stupid.
get COVID vaccines as opposed to other vaccines in history that
Yo,
have been
that looks-
compulsory. And Terry is pretending there's a problem with the MMR vaccine, so he's clearly on the Andrew Wakefield bus. Also, can we drop this ridiculous act where we pretend RFK isn't the world's premier anti-vaxxer when you spend decades deliberately spreading disinformation about vaccines, including the autism bullshit, and even have ties to law firms that sue vaccine manufacturers? Just saying I'm not an anti-vaxxer is only going to fool the dumbest people alive,
Yeah,
like the
like,
two
that's some
clowns in
bullshit.
this room.
You're known as a great environmentalist. You're just saying that the pollution is in our bodies from other things, not just what's in the air.
Vaccine.
It could be vaccines. And
I just hate, like, I don't like when you bring people like Terrence on the show and don't push back on him. I'll give PBD some credit. He was really on his neck about, he was on Terrence's neck about the 1 times 1 is 2 shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't like when they bring people on and then they just validate them for saying dumb shit. Like, push back on this shit. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, y'all gonna be mad. I'm gonna have a really tough conversation one of these days on this stream and people don't want to hear, like, dead ass.
not every vaccine, but who knows, in combination with all the other things that are in our body, mercury and fungus and
And this is stupid too, and mercury and fungus. Bro, mercury just existing doesn't mean it's bad if it's in your body, bro. Everything is about the amount and the potency.
X-rays. How many X-rays have you
To
had?
just sweat it out.
Electromagnetic energy. 50,000 chemicals we didn't have 50 years ago.
Bill, you
Never mind.
sound like the moderator of a Facebook group for dim soccer moms with too much time on their
Wouldn't
hands.
squish a grape.
What vaccines? What chemicals? Electromagnetic energy? Just blindly gesturing at things that sound
Yeah,
scary
that
to you
sound
is not an
scary.
actual position. Say something or keep your mouth shut.
We don't know what all these factors are, but when he says this is probably what's behind most of our health problems, that resonates with me. That's what's different about when I was a kid
What?
and the food was just, maybe it wasn't great, Wonder Bread, but most of it was just, it wasn't processed.
What does processed mean to you, Bill? What are you even talking about? Did you know that you can still get Wonder Bread at the store today? And other breads that are way better for you than that, with all kinds of grains in them and shit. Have you been in a supermarket in the past 40 years, or does your personal assistant do all the shopping? I'm really tired of so many people on the internet whining about how bad food is now. Go to the fucking store, buy some fruits and vegetables or whatever other healthy food you want, and eat it. Nobody is forcing you at gunpoint to eat McDonald's. Just don't fucking eat it, okay?
Yeah, this idea that, like, everything that you go to the store and buy is, like, all infected and GMO and fake and lab grown. It's like, bro, eat the damn food, because you think you want to grow all the shit in your backyard, and then once your ass catch something that you didn't know existed because you don't know how to properly grow fruit and vegetables, don't come crying to the doctors that you think is trying to kill you with the vaccine. Like, stop. None of this shit makes sense. Go grow your own food if you want to, but everything out here ain't gonna just kill you, bro. Like, stop. I don't care about banning red dyes or banning any dyes that's not necessary, but that shit not gonna do nothing. It's not the problem. People just overconsume shit and eat McDonald's and shit like that. It's taking red dyes is like it's like yeah, I'm trying to lower my salt intake, and then you pull out like, and you take like you pinch some salt that you finna dump some salt on your fries, and you take a pinch and drop it off. That's what taking red dyes out of food is gonna do for us. Like, you need to stop eating people need to not eat certain shit and not overconsume shit. The red dye shit, I don't care, because it's not gonna hurt me either way, but it's not doing anything. That's not part of the health crisis in America.
This myth that all the food sucks now is just so infantile and completely divorced from reality that I can't take anyone seriously who talks this way. Even with recent inflation, anybody can go to the store with $10 and get some rice or whole grain pasta and a bucket full of high quality produce and have their whole family eat like royalty compared to any other era in human history without practically lifting a finger. Show some gratitude.
Not the COVID vaccine. Just me dealing with my children about, am I going to the vaccines to give them in school? And I was like, no, I don't want to give them the MMR and all of that because when
They don't need it.
No.
What?
Really?
Huh?
Two
Wait,
kids.
What the fuck? What? What do you mean they don't need it? I didn't know Bill was gonna go that far. What do you mean they don't need the MMR? What?
And all of that because when
They don't need it.
No.
Really? 2 kids died in Texas last month from measles.
And perfectly preventable. God, like, this is insane. Like, I didn't know he was gonna go that far. He was talking about the vaccine. Like, I mean, the COVID vaccine. Now he's saying you don't need the MMR, right? Texas is just broken out, and measles is just broken out in Texas. Literally the past couple months. And as he just said, kids are dying. That's so preventable. They don't know nothing about Yeah, bro, that's the thing. It's like, and honestly, I ain't gonna say the real solution, but they can't say like, no, y'all can't sell food because it's unhealthy, because that's the only way you're gonna really get people to stop. Because it's not like it's not common knowledge that fast food and fatty foods aren't good for you. That's not something people don't know, but they eat it. Herd immunity. Yeah, sure, but just have everybody get it and let's risk people dying to be immune. That's the better option, even though we pretty much eradicated till this fucking anti-vax shit came about from our demographic, millennials, and I think some of Gen X fell for this autism bullshit, as if autism is worse than death. That part was also I don't get.
So yes, they do need it.
They really try to act like autism is the worst option of that and death. What in the world is happening?
Anyone who says otherwise can go fuck themselves. You're murdering children. So much for the anti-vaxxer script of, I'm just against COVID vaccines, not all vaccines, since idiots like you consistently demonstrate that you are indeed against all vaccines, even ones like MMR that have a decades-long track record of being exceptionally safe and effective.
And when we were kids, back in 1969 when I was born, and they gave me the shot, it was delivered with duck embryo DNA.
What?
Then in 1970, when they got the abortion clinics, they started using human DNA. Now, the duck embryo DNA. Oh, my
God. That's the same shit that RFK just said the other day. He said, well, it has the... I'm finna choke. I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry. I'm going to kill myself. Oh, that hurt. Oh, he just said that whole stupid baby fetus debris is in the MMR vaccine. What? And now he finna repeat this dumb shit.
Would not bond. It would deliver the vaccine. It would deliver the little protein that was necessary.
He said, "That's what I get." I know, right? That was wrong with me. He said, "No, motherfucker." God said, "Nigga, what you doing?"
Any match to your DNA, so it would be taken out of the body. But because they're using human DNA cells from the abortion clinics, those now bond into our cells and try to bond with it. That's why we have all the psoriasis now.
Oh my God, it burns. The stupidity burns so much. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Terry, you brain-dead twat waffle. They used to produce the vaccine by culturing the rubella virus in duck embryos. This is what caused the virus to attenuate or weaken.
Rubella virus can be cultured in duck embryo cells cultures, which has been a key method in development of live attenuated rubella viruses vaccine. This involves serially passing the virus in duck embryos to weaken its virulence and create a vaccine strain. So if I'm not mistaken, that sounds like it means the duck part was part of the trials to see how it worked. Yes or no? Rubella virus, like many other viruses, can be grown in cell cultures. Duck embryos provide a suitable environment for this process. The ability to culture rubella virus in duck embryos allow for development of live attenuated rubella vaccine. These vaccines are produced by weakening the virus through serial passages in duck embryo cells. So I think that's what it means. I could be wrong, but even if say they put duck embryos in us for the vaccine, if that shit is safe and it works, I don't give a fuck. Let's not act like you care. It just sounds crazy. Oh, you put a duck embryo in me. Nigga, you eat duck. So I don't really care if the embryo, if that shit keeps me from getting the deadly vaccine, a deadly virus, put the duck in me. I don't give a fuck.
Thus allowing us to inject the weakened rubella virus. They weren't injecting any part of a duck.
Wait, he called him a twat waffle? I missed it.
To produce the vaccine. To myself, Terry, you brain dead twat waffle. They used to produce the vaccine by culturing the rubella virus in duck embryos. This is what caused the virus to attenuate or weaken, thus allowing us to inject the weakened rubella virus. They weren't injecting any part of a duck embryo or any duck DNA. Then what? It would deliver the little protein, but it wouldn't have any match to your DNA? That means absolutely nothing. And the human ones do what? Try to bond into our cells? More gibberish. You don't know what cells are, or what DNA is, or what vaccines are, and you have the intellect of a third grader. Good thing Bill is super smart. He'll be able to weigh in on all this, I bet.
I cannot
I said what I said.
Endorse or refute what you just said, because I don't know anything about that. I do know, the course, when they make a vaccine, they do have to put something that will be the delivery system. It used to be, for sure, poisonous mercury, thimerosal.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bill admits he can't
God.
refute any of the insanely dumb shit Terry just said, even though most ninth graders could do it, and then his attempt to make up for it is to mispronounce thimerosal and proudly announce that he has no idea what it is. Amazing. Thimerosal was not a delivery system, it's a preservative, and it's not mercury, it's a compound with a mercury atom in it. Thimerosal is not mercury any more than amino acids are diamonds. Looks like the competition in this room for knowing the least about chemistry is going to be pretty heated.
So the fact that you're saying ducks,
They used to grow it in duck embryo, but now once they started getting all of the fetuses from the abortion clinics,
Oh my
they
God.
started using the DNA from them as a delivery system, and that's our bodies don't like having some foreign thing.
No,
Why are you
vaccine-
just saying shit that you don't even know what you're talking about? Like it's clear he's fucking spitballing. It's clear he's just saying shit and don't know what he's saying.
Do not contain human DNA. Also, you have no ability to express a coherent thought regarding what DNA is or how foreign DNA in the bloodstream would interact with your own genome, since it wouldn't do that at all.
I feel like we are just marching toward this place where we accept more and more of this kind of environmental pollution, even in.
I just find it strange that, like, I think most would agree the quality of life has improved over, like, centuries. Like, weren't people dying in, like, their 50s and 60s at a point? And who's to say if that's good or bad now? Cause baby boomers is out here, boy. They still working, they're retiring, and we can't replace them, and they is living. So it is what it is. People are living longer. People are able to cure certain health. They have health remedies for shit that used to take people out. People can live with HIV now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are living longer, so to pretend as if, like, we're going in the wrong direction. Now, if your argument is, if people get sick, let them die, just say that shit. Just at least then all this other bullshit you're saying could be believable, if that's how you feel.
Indoor pollution is a thing. People die of indoor pollution. It can be the formaldehyde in the fucking sofa.
They don't even understand. Formaldehyde isn't going to kill you just because it exists.
What
She
the
said
fuck
that's
are
not
you
the
talking
point.
about? You're concerned about formaldehyde in your sofa? And what amount would that be, Bill? Do you have any idea? Here's some food for thought. How much formaldehyde is in an apple? And let me stop you before you interject. No, not some futuristic imaginary GMO Frankenfood apple that doesn't even exist in the first place. A plain old apple, just like any that has existed for hundreds of years. Want to take a guess? Between 6 and 22 milligrams per kilogram.
You see what I'm like, Ross? That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, my grandmother just passed. She wasn't a baby boomer, of course, but she lived to fucking 97. My grandma lived to 97, and her brain was fully intact. And she had health problems too. If we didn't have what we have to this day, she probably wouldn't have made it to 97. My grandmother, she diabetic. She lost her eyesight. She done fell and had, she done broke her hip. Like, she couldn't walk for the past, 10 years. Like, stuff done came so far along. It's like, but her brain, thank you, PTJ, but her brain was still intact. I ain't forget the last time I saw her, we was in the hospital, and we reminiscing, of course, and my mom is more forgetful. So she's like, she was trying to remember when I was born. My grandmother knew the exact year I was born without hesitation when we was talking about it. She was like, yeah, it was born 1990. I was like, you got, I don't know how many grandkids and grandkids, and you just knew the year I was born immediately. My grandmother on her own had not 7 kids. Then I don't know how many grandkids she got anymore. I don't even know. And she just knew my birthday, the year I was born, with no thought. Thank y'all for the RIPs. Thank y'all. So it's just like, for y'all to be acting like everything is just so much worse, it just defies everything that we're actually going through. It's fucking annoying.
How about pears? Triple that. Formaldehyde is in a lot of stuff. You don't know what it is. You couldn't draw me the structure of formaldehyde if your life depended on it. You don't know how it interacts with the body. You have no idea how much of it is in what objects. You're just saying chemicals bad and patting yourself on the back for no reason. In general, there are no bad chemicals and good chemicals. Literally any chemical can kill you if you ingest enough of it, even water. The dough.
You sound like my wife. She only 2 years younger than me, trying to call me old. Nigga, we grew up doing the same shit. Shut up.
Makes the poison. By the way, indoor pollution, things are getting so much worse indoors, are they? That's funny. I remember when you could smoke cigarettes literally anywhere.
He's still
now
giving
you can't.
shitty interviews.
We also used to use asbestos.
Hell, you could argue science is the reason he probably smoked better weed today. Shit, all these same people you act like is just, nigga, shut up. You smoking probably better weed than they had back in the day.
Lead paint, all kinds
He
of
said, I
harmful
graduated
stuff.
in 90.
But do you know what happened? We learned more science and then developed regulatory bodies to determine what manufacturers can and can't put in their products in order to protect public health. The very same agencies that oligarchs like Elon Musk are actively trying to destroy so that the private sector can run amok and subjugate everyone into oblivion, while idiots like you and Terry can't seem to get his nuts out of your mouth. Everything you say, everything you pretend to understand, everything you rage against, everything you support is the precise opposite of the truth. You morons represent the antithesis of truth. It's breathtaking watching 2 elderly toddlers sitting in chairs, filming themselves frantically out-stupiding each other while sipping alcohol.
You're only as old as you feel, man. Like, I look. Only time I feel old is when I try to dance when I'm out of practice. But once I get back to doing it, is no problem. You feel me?
And convincing themselves that anybody should give 2 shits
screenshots
what
of the
either of
dumb
them have
shit.
said in their entire lives.
Okay, we have.
Trying. I want to make a video. I might make a video of it. I might cover a little bit, but I want to make like a dedicated video to that shit.
All this waste from the refineries, what do we do with it? Well, in the early 1910s, 1920s, they called all of the chemists together and was like, hey, how can we use this? And they end up making all of these things, and they turned a lot of our pills and medicine into carbon or methylene-based or oil-based from all the refineries.
Yeah.
Dear God, turning medicine into carbon, methylene-based,
No, yeah. If you
oil-based.
dance, don't stop
I will
doing it.
never understand
Don't
how
stop.
this asshole has the
I don't
balls
plan to
to
stop.
open his
I
mouth
ain't as
and try to
consistent as I
talk about it.
was. Maybe if y'all are here, I'm gonna show y'all one of a video where I was dancing, y'all. I'm saying it like I don't still dance. I did my own choreo like 4 years ago. That's the type of shit. I might show y'all a video of some of y'all if y'all interested in seeing when I was dancing. I'm gonna start putting that shit on my membership stuff though once I get that started up.
Chemistry, the disregard for middle school level science principles, all the way to flat out making up words. How is this a person? Nobody magically turned pills into carbon. Medicine
Yep.
is not coal. You're a moron.
Everything.
And it's also a known fact that when they come up with a drug and it doesn't work on one thing, or sometimes because it's like it works too well, in other words, it kills you, they don't throw it away exactly.
Wait, it works too well and it kills you? How does that make any sense?
Too well, in other words, it kills you. They don't throw it away
No, watch. You just want to see me shake my ass. Stop.
exactly, because that's bad money after good, okay? What they do is they repurpose it.
Retroactive.
They do that many times. It didn't
Even
work on cancer.
Even if that, first of all, I don't get what he say about work well and kills you. That doesn't make sense. But even if that's the case, excuse me, something gets made for one thing and they repurpose it. How is that a bad thing? That sounds like what recycling is. It sounds like, well, we tried to do this, that didn't work, but it can do this. Why is that a bad thing? All they did was run into something on accident. I don't even know if that's true or not, but if it is, that doesn't sound like a bad thing.
But we got a whole stockroom of it. No, I'm sure it's not quite like that.
Yeah, it's nothing like that at all. A drug that works so well that it kills you?
Yeah.
What? Sometimes we discover that a drug has an alternate use. So what? You're acting like
Exactly. I'm like, that doesn't sound bad. Why did he frame that as if it was something wrong with that? That sounds like a good thing. Approved drug, zidovudine, remdesivir, carbamazepine, drug repurposing in a silico-based approach, repurpose indication. Oh, so all these things was meant to do one thing, and it came out to fix something else.
arbitrarily decide to market it for some other purpose it doesn't actually have. Do you have any clue how drugs work? Do you have any concept of how small molecules interact with receptors or enzymes? Do you have zero grasp of the benefit of repositioning a drug for a novel purpose that has already gone through clinical trials and had its safety?
Traditional de novo drug discovery, expensive and time consuming with high attrition, meaning you can't even use half of it. Drug repositioning and de novo development, time and cost offensive in the lower. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that makes so much sense. Bro, don't act like you can say any of them words better than I just tried to. That's why. Yeah, oh, you're right, Ozempic. It was the diabetes, and now it seems like it could, from my understanding, I think Ozempic isn't even unsafe for weight loss, to my understanding. I didn't look deeply, but from what I saw, I think they're saying, yeah, Ozempic was, you said what happened, diabetics been using it for years, and when they realize people can use it to lose weight too, yes, and I think it's not unsafe for weight loss. Bro, watch, you see, that's what's crazy. And you see how the way I'm talking about this is, I'm like, I'm not even denying what Bill said because I don't know. So I'm like, well, if that's the case, that don't sound bad. Lo and behold, somebody that knows a little bit more than both of us, this is what science and medication is about. You start off doing one thing, you find out it could do something else, then you test it for that. How safe is it for this? And then you get, like you said, your time and cost effective. You spend time doing something, and now it's like, well, we started with this, but we found this out, so let's just work into that. That way you didn't waste all your time trying to work with that medication.
Demonstrated? Of course you don't. So
That
why
too,
are you
Nova.
opening your dumb mouth about it? Modern medicine is a fucking miracle, and you asshole.
And like, I'm not even against it. If it's healthy, bro, if people, I'm not against people losing weight healthily. Like, if people want to, like, you can say, oh, you cheated. I don't really give a fuck if it's a healthy way to lose weight. I don't want people to, like, the surgery shit, I'm not saying it's unhealthy, but there's a lot of risks that come with certain surgeries and shit, And if Ozempic is a healthy way to lose weight, by all means, man.
Are here shitting on it to feel smart.
It is suspicious to me.
Well, what made the cancer go away was the ivermectin, the antiparasitics, all of those things that they were saying, oh, that you give to dogs, things of that nature, because cancer, I don't believe, and from looking at it, cancer isn't just some deformity that happens to a given cell.
Correct.
I won't lie, I am genuinely surprised that in this idiot contest between Terry and Bill, they're pretty much tied at this point. I knew Bill was dumb, but Terry-level dumb? It's a little shocking. Terry pretends to know what cancer is, says something insanely stupid, and Bill says, correct, just to make sure everyone watching knows he's just as dumb as Terry. Cancer is when mutated cells are dividing uncontrollably. That's it. Anyone who says that cancer is anything but what I just said does not know what cancer is. And no, ivermectin does not cure cancer. Antiparasitics in general do not cure cancer.
God.
How the fuck would medicine that kills parasites cure cancer, genius? Go ahead and explain that to me mechanistically.
J-Mac, you funny as hell.
Oh, right, that's impossible since you don't know what cancer is.
I mean, one of the things that I saw with the cancer cells, it behaves exactly like an embryo. It wraps itself in dopamine.
I'm sorry. Like, I would not sit, if I was sitting in front of Terrence and he was saying this type of shit, I would just be constantly like, why do you, like, where are you getting this information from? Because it sounds, as somebody that don't know this in depth about the shit, I'd be like, this sounds ridiculous. Where did you get this information from? You haven't studied these things in any serious capacity. Like, where do you get this information and why do you believe it? Like, because it sounds stupid. And Bill's like you said, correct. Like, what?
And therefore, the dopamine is the fuel of the body, the gold of the body. So the body starts sending blood vessels.
No, but that just seemed cruel, like cruel and unusual punishment.
Dopamine.
I just don't know how Terry does it. Every time I make a video about him, no matter how much idiocy I've already heard tumble out of his mouth, he manages to say something so profoundly next-level moronic that I'm genuinely shocked. He's the limbo king of stupidity. Nobody on earth could come up with a statement as dumb as this, no matter how hard they tried.
Wrapped in dopamine.
Cancer is an embryo that wraps itself in dopamine and sends blood vessels to get the dopamine? What do you even do with something like this? Spend 10 minutes explaining embryology? Explain how cells can't wrap themselves up in neurotransmitters? Point out that cells can't conjure up blood vessels out of thin air and tell them what to do? Why? Why am I doing this?
And then it starts controlling the rest, and it keeps
You know it's bad that Dave can't even that's how you know when something is that stupid. Is when you have absolutely no response to it. Because there's no way to address something that idiotic. Cancer is wrapped in dopamine and delivers through an embryo. That shit funny, bro. Like, oh my God. All he did was just say how stupid it is, because it's like, how do you respond to that? How? There's no way.
all the other, at the end of every chromosome, there's these telomeres.
Telomeres.
Yes.
Yes, I'd take something to repair them.
Terry said a word that Bill has heard of. Neither of them know what it means, but they recognize the word. Great work, guys. Remember when Bill was whining about chemicals being everywhere? Do you think he could explain to you in detail why he takes this pill he's talking about? I'd bet my life savings he can't.
But the telomeres, right, I mean, as I understand it as a silly layman, is just, yes, the sort of like the frayed end of the cell. And, you know, of course, we keep replicating ourselves.
Like, literally, I can't even, like he's saying, like you just said, Wise, you easily could just say words that you heard. Like, I could do that just based off the shit Terrence said. Now, imagine how stupid I would sound. He got more time to try to at least fake like he sound like something. If I just used all the words that these motherfuckers just used and just said some shit, it would sound crazy. But Terrence did do that from elsewhere. He learned a bunch of words and just said them.
Sure, Bill. Telomeres are the frayed ends of cells. Great work, champ.
Pretending that ivermectin was somehow evil. It wasn't evil. It won the Nobel Prize in 2015. They say it's cured probably more people
You see how they pick and choose shit? Like, they act like the COVID vaccine is a problem. But you just like, oh, ivermectin. It's not a vaccine, but why are you okay with ivermectin curing COVID, but not the vaccine that's meant for COVID? Like, that's so stupid. Nobody said ivermectin is the devil. They said it's not going to help with COVID. That's it.
I mean, except penicillin.
Facts.
Nobody
Nova.
was pretending that ivermectin is evil. A bunch of lying frauds were claiming that it cures COVID and a bunch of other stuff, and educated people pointed out that no, it fucking doesn't.
Right.
How is that demonizing anything, Bill? Do you not see a problem with how you just endlessly parrot conservative anti-science talking points?
The truth is probably in the middle somewhere, which is that for some people, yes, it probably has properties that mix, because again, we're all individuals. This one.
Oh my God, Bill, stop it. Oh my fucking God. Now, I think he even knows what he finna say is stupid because he kind of paused. Yes, we're all individuals, but our biology as human beings is for the most part the same. Breeds of dogs take the same damn medicine if they have the same problem. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. And yes, there are some people it may not work for where they buy, like, I can't eat peanuts, but you know what I'm saying? I know other people can eat peanuts, especially Watts. He likes nuts. So don't sit here and act like we're all different people. So yes, it might work for some. No, the real thing is it may not work for some, but for most people, you should do this because it more than likely will help.
Size fits all medical treatment bugs me.
Yeah, how dare
Natural
we
selection
think that
on me. Man, listen, Nova.
Truth is probably in the middle somewhere, which is that for some people, yes, it probably has properties that mix, because again, we're all individuals. This one size fits all medical treatment bugs me.
Yeah, how dare we think that human beings would react in the same manner to specific compounds? It's not like we're all the same type of organism and therefore possess all the same tissues and organs and organ systems and enzymes and receptors.
Exactly.
How silly to presume that
so
members of the
stupid.
same species would
Now,
react.
basically, what are you suggesting? That everybody gets diagnosed down to every damn strand of their DNA and biological makeup to give them a certain type of medicine? How the fuck do you sound, Bill?
Act the same way to the same substances. I know a guy down the street who drinks hydrogen cyanide instead of water and breathes chlorine gas instead of oxygen.
It was no way.
Everybody's different, right, Bill?
My wife does all the cooking. I don't cook no more. I used to cook.
Really?
But it's like when Jimi Hendrix, when the Beatles, when Eric Clapton supposedly saw Jimi Hendrix playing and he took his guitar and he put it on the stage.
I'm
and
sure he
left it
did,
there.
yeah.
When I saw my wife cook, I stopped cooking, and I haven't
Really?
cooked in 12 years because.
How did we get here?
You'll meet her. She's perfect.
Yes, Terry,
How did
you
we
and
get
your
here?
wife are the two best chefs that have ever lived, just like you're the greatest scientist and mathematician of all time. Great to see that your unwavering
ain't have to catch a
narcissism
stray.
extends to your loved ones as well. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. It's time for Terry to start spinning some tall tales.
But it was right after I started filing the patents, and then after doing a 6-year thorough investigation.
Uh-oh, silence.
making
I know
sure
this one
that
gonna bug
I
you.
was kicked out of all the banks.
I know you here for this.
All of the huge banks all sent me back my money. And I was like, what is this about?
I'll take things that definitely have never happened for 200, Alex.
If you plead guilty to a fraud misdemeanor, we'll let everything go. I was like, no, let's take this to court. Let's put this in front of a jury of my peers, and let's see how you behave with me. Then they walked away, and then they brought something back later. But it was all because of challenging this status quo in the way that I have.
Yes,
Nigga.
Terry, everyone in the world is thinking about you all the time.
Like this
and how
shit
much
be
you
blunt.
challenge.
It's the same shit with like people like Myron and shit. Like everybody's against me because everybody thinks it's something about me and I'm different. Like what the fuck?
The status quo with your dumb shapes and
Hey.
shitty math.
Half of y'all in here ain't left a like. It's not that many viewers, but it's less likes.
These are the types of delusions that
It's
should
free.
tip off absolutely every other person to the fact that Terry is batshit insane.
I got suspended 15 times every year. 15 times a year, all through elementary, got expelled 4 times, always for insubordination. Always for insubordination, because I would ask the question, why? Why? Why is this? What? And they would sit up and say, because. And it's like, no, don't.
I'll stick with the category,
Oh my
Alex.
God.
Things that definitely have never happened for 400.
Why?
Terry,
Why?
absolutely nobody will believe that you got expelled 4 times for asking a question. Dial it down a notch or 7. Then try and figure out a way to complete a single interview without lying every single time you open your mouth.
No, it has
My
been.
wife,
That's
yeah.
why I Oh yeah, y'all
Why?
definitely got them likes up.
I met her on October 3rd.
Appreciate it. They definitely just went shot up.
2013. We got married October 26, 2013. I knew I'd been around for thousands of lifetimes because when I saw her, the moment I saw her, everything, I realized I'd been looking for her for 1,000 lifetimes and didn't even know. And that's the connection, that it wasn't best sex in the world. It was everything that I could imagine. And then,
Wait
at
a
the
minute.
time,
This nigga got weed and he's smoking a square? Oh, for you to have all this high intelligence and just being the super Terrence, like, you sitting there smoking a cigarette, bro, and you're complaining about food? I'm not gonna lie, Nova, I'm not mad at the poncho. I'm not. The hat, I'm not. You are right. I am not mad at this poncho at all. I'm not mad at it. That's not the Fendi. That's not the Fendi sign. But I'm not mad. It's not my thing. I wouldn't wear it, but I'm not mad at this poncho at all either. Bro, this man's smoking a cigarette like it's 1994. What the fuck I just watched the other day? No, it was Sinners. I'm talking about what I watched the other day. It's Sinners. It's Sinners. They was smoking like a motherfucker in that movie. I'm like, fucking Christ! Like the squares. When y'all go back and watch them movies in like the 90s, man, like smoking was just every especially a villain. If there was a bad guy, you know they was smoking. But everybody, just cigarettes was just flick, flick, flick. You got a cigarette. Like, it was crazy.
I had just been accused of domestic violence from my wife.
Oh, it
Michelle.
do got a hood.
I was done with everything.
It's organic cigarettes.
I was kicked out of Hollywood for the most part. I was canceled.
Bill should tell his ass to put that shit out.
Right.
I owed $500,000 from my patent attorney, $400,000 to my divorce attorney.
Yeah, they thought that shit was too
She went
cool.
and covered everything.
Wow, so after getting caught beating up your wife and being cast out of Hollywood for being an insufferable asshole, and
You know what's so crazy to see the duality of him like this, and then the last thing I think I watched him in that was recent was the Best Man not Holiday, whatever the series was, the Best Man series, which was really good. If y'all watched the Best Man and Best Man Holiday, you should watch the series. If you have not, it was great. It was amazing. I really loved it. And he's just like a good actor. He's such a great actor. And then he gets into this bag and it's like, bro, shut the fuck up and just do another movie, bro. Like, stop. All this bullshit you doing, especially now you see you smoking squares and shit while trying to say the food is unhealthy and you think the MMR got embryos and fetuses in it and shit. Bro, stop.
owing money all over town. You gaslit some poor woman, got her to pay your
with
debts, and
cigarettes.
she's still stuck in your hellish web to this day. That's fucking tragic.
So
And she didn't look at me
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
when-
Nova. If you didn't see the series, that shit was good. It was really good. I'm glad they did it too, because it gave you closure with everybody.
When I first started talking about
I forgot the
One times
I
one
forgot the
equal
name
two.
of the series
and I
though.
wasn't talking about one times
I don't
one
remember the-
doesn't
the
I
equal
title.
read, I
one.
read about that.
In linear math, you still can use the 1 times 1 equaling 1 for things laid out.
Oh,
But if you're
okay.
talking,
Oh, he
if
said
you're
1 times
trying to
1. Okay.
measure
Equals
this
1.
room or measure some space, but if you're talking about fluid flow, gas flow, water flow, all of that has to be measured through volumetrically.
Here we go. It had to happen at some point. Terry is finally trying to figure out a way to dial back the dumbest thing he's ever said in his entire life. After endless humiliation, he's now qualifying his shit math and saying that sometimes 1 times 1 can equal 1. Not just
about
for money, like he
sometimes.
said on PBD. Now it's for all kinds of stuff. even for measuring a room or whatever. Just not for volumetric some other bullshit, even though rooms have volumes that are calculated the same way as areas. So basically he's admitting that 1 times 1 equals 1. He's sorry, and please stop bringing it up. Looks like you won't get any pushback from Bill here, since he read about that and has no further comments. Great work, Bill.
Because 666, 6 times 6 times 6 ends up being 216. 216 is the key of C, or key of A. 432, you double that.
He uses his off time poorly.
666. If you do 6 times 6,
I got that part.
6 times 6 is 36.
I get it. 216.
216
is the what?
Is the key of A.
What does that mean?
That's
key of A.
the key of A, the tone of A.
What is
the tone of A?
The number is the tone of A?
It's like a fever dream. We're going from numerology to Terry having no idea what basic musical terminology means. It's legitimately historical what we are witnessing. All Bill has to do is ask, what?
A. PTJ. I'm from the south side of Chicago.
And Terry starts fumbling, changing from key to tone, so he doesn't know what a key is, and then pretending that 216 hertz is some special note. It isn't. It's between G sharp 3 and A3. It's not even a note in equal temperament. And even if
okay, so there are number correlations to musical notes. Okay.
A key is, and then pretending that 216 hertz is some special note. It isn't. It's between G sharp 3 and A3. It's not even a note in equal temperament. And even if it was, so what? The note A is the devil? Spit it out, Terry.
When the Beatles went to India, they tuned their instruments when they got back all to 432 and remastered all of their stuff because 432 is the common factor of the universal tone. That's the sound of our earth.
What an exquisite bullshit Sunday. No, the Beatles did not do that. They occasionally experimented with alternate tunings, but they didn't just suddenly and permanently adopt an entirely different system of pitches. Then Terry admits he doesn't know what mastering is. When you remaster music, you aren't changing all the pitches or editing the music. You're just improving the sound quality.
He was born in Chicago but raised in Ohio. He was raised in Cleveland.
The whipped cream of idiocy all at the end. The common factor of the universal tone, that's very not a thing. There is no universal tone, and you don't know what factor means. The sound of Earth? So we're going from the whole universe to just one planet already? And what is this sound? The entire planet makes one sound at one particular frequency? How the fuck does that work, and where can we hear it? I'm standing on the Earth right now, and I don't hear shit. Is this like your beryllium thing again?
Everybody's primal. We're still 98.7% simian.
Yeah.
There's only 1.3% differentiation between us and them.
See,
and that
now,
1.3,
if he would have stayed his ass in Chicago, he wouldn't be this fucking crazy. We don't claim Kanye. Sorry. Kanye, I don't know what the fuck wrong with that nigga. That nigga, we don't claim him no more. Fuck him.
Percent we call human. And we have to abide by that. But 98.7% of us is still trying to be that gorilla ape. That's who we are.
We are.
So how are they locking people up for killing someone that's sleeping with their wife when 98% of them is like what you can't do that to the chimpanzees. All males fight over women in every species.
Yeah, that's definitely not true. There are plenty of species where females are larger and more aggressive than males. It's called female-biased sexual dimorphism, and it's commonly displayed in reptiles,
I didn't even know Corey
amphibians,
was from Chicago.
sharks, insects, even some mammals like whales and hyenas. There are plenty of species where females even fight each other for access to males, but we don't need to get into a zoology lesson. Terry's just trying to outline a case for why he should be able to punch anyone he wants in the face and not get thrown in jail for it. Because, you see, he's mostly a chimpanzee. It's not his fault, you guys.
I know, but again, it's going to be harder in your life because married chicks are still going to like look at you and go,
I'm their pass.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
No, I fuck with D-Ray. I fuck with
D-Ray.
D-Ray and I fuck with Godfrey. I like D-Ray.
Oh, please.
Just so you know, this is like the fourth time that Bill is telling Terry how super hot and sexy he is. I just didn't show the other times. Yes, there are so many women out there whose hall passes are Terrence Howard and Bill Maher. Dream on, guys.
Don't
instead of
deprive.
chasing the camera.
Yeah,
But
don't deprive us
Wait.
of
no,
that
I'm in
era.
the chitlin circuit now. They stuck after I sued Fox.
What does that mean?
The chitlin circuit.
Oh, I know what it really is, but what's
Yeah.
it for you?
That's no studio movies, no, no big television stuff. Everything is on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't fuck with the mouse.
yeah, Nova, I
fuck with the
did.
mouse.
I just it's hard for me to give Kanye any entertainment. Like I just can't entertain Kanye no more. It's just so it's funny you say that because I fake was gonna cover his peers interview on here today. I might still, but I'm just so over him.
I sued the mouse. I sued Fox. I sued, and I'm suing CAA right now.
Oh, well,
but it's about my
First of all,
money.
how much is
Somebody
in this
take
interview?
$300 million from you. You're like, dude.
Bill was pressing Terry about his claim that he wants to stop acting, and Terry let the cat out of the bag. Nobody will hire him because he's an asshole who goes around suing everybody.
I don't believe that he can't get a role. He's annoying, but he can act. And he was saying stupid shit before the Best Man series was made. He was saying dumb shit before that. So you're not I ain't gonna say he ain't blackballed whatsoever, but I don't think he's incapable of getting a role because he's a great actor.
For who the hell knows what reason. $300 million, Terry? Really? What the fuck did you do that earned that much money, and how did anyone take it from you? We're all dying to hear that story.
Yeah,
And
there used to
now,
be, like,
if he can't get a role, it might be because he's an asshole. Because him quitting Iron Man over the pay was stupid. I don't know why he thought he was supposed to get the same as much as RDJ.
different kinds of wheat.
Yes, PTJ. Yes, like
because of-
he's
I can't
stupid.
ever
He's
explain.
so fucking stupid for that. Granted, I love Don Cheadle, but he fucked himself. That was dumb.
And it, the economics, and it was more economical than
Towards
that.
the
so they
Space
could-
Force.
And that's where Monosat came in, and they're just keeping their same.
Monsanto?
Monsanto.
Yes.
Monostat.
Because you're stoned now.
No,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
silencer,
I'm thinking of a
exactly.
yeast infection.
What?
Monostat. They use it for a yeast
Monostat?
infection.
Yeah.
Terry took some hits.
Wait, why is Bill Maher shocked? Ain't that's what Monostat is for? Why is he looking crazy? What did I miss?
And they're just keeping their same.
Monsanto?
Monsanto.
Yes.
Monostat.
Because you're stoned now.
No.
What?
Economical, remember that? So they.
And that's where Monosat came in, and they're just keeping their same.
Monsanto?
Monsanto.
Yes.
Monostat.
Because you're stoned now.
No, that's
That's
what
why.
it was. I'm thinking of a yeast infection.
What?
Monostat. They use it for a yeast infection.
Terry took some hits off of Bill's joint, and now we get to enjoy his insane word associations, like pivoting from agriculture to yeast infections because he thinks Monostat sounds like Monsanto. This should make the rest of the podcast
Being
a little
wrapped
more
in
fun.
dopamine.
I was about to do a film called Awake with Harvey. Harvey Weinstein did this for me.
Of course.
Harvey, he did some beautiful shit.
Of course.
I had
As a producer, yeah.
my quote was like $60,000 for a movie, and Harvey was like, and I was about to go and negotiate for Iron Man, and Harvey was like, no. He's like, I'm going to offer you a picture for $3.5 million. You're going to decline that offer in writing, and that's going to be your quote for Marvel. And he did that for me. Now I've been offered.
And now you lost the Marvel bag. Oh, I'm not trying to laugh at him, like, cause it's like it's not like he wouldn't have done well at Marvel, but okay, let me see where this is going.
$3.5 million, and I turned that down, so that's now my quote. So we were able to take, my agent was able to take that paper and take it to Marvel and say, this is what his
So
quote
he
is.
helped.
He helped.
He tried to help, nigga. We saw how that ended up. We saw how this went. Like, I mean, yes, you can ask for something, but they don't have to pay you for it. Marvel was just getting their legs up. They didn't. I don't even know if Marvel could have predicted what the MCU would have turned into. They probably could have had the vision, but that don't mean it would have came to fruition.
He helped for no other reason.
You know,
No other reason.
Is this just a way to make Harvey not look like a bad person? Is that what this story is about? To make it look like Harvey's not really that bad?
reason. He was
And
just good people.
Terry,
That's so weird. He was just good people. That just sounds like he's just trying to say Harvey ain't do nothing wrong because he did me a solid. That's all it sounds like. Like, Harvey could have done a lot of people good. That don't mean what he got convicted of didn't happen. That don't mean that. To just act like you can acknowledge that he did you a solid, but what he did to get convicted was fucked up. You can say that. What the hell?
I don't think Harvey Weinstein was such a great guy is the tagline you want people to take away from this
Exactly.
interview. Unless this is just more of your tactic of bringing up the worst people alive in order to look decent in comparison. Should we talk about Jeffrey Epstein next? Oh wait, Terry has a theory about the JFK assassination.
The night before, he had signed an executive order ordering that the Federal Reserve would no longer be printing the dollars.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because I could definitely see him being Rhodey just as much as Don Cheadle. I can see it. Like, I can see everything. When he did it, he did well. I could definitely see it in any of those movies.
U.S. government will now print the dollars. It was comparable to what happened to Abraham Lincoln. He wanted to do the same thing, start printing money himself instead of having a Federal Reserve.
I'm going to stop you right there, Terry. The Federal Reserve was established in 1913. So no, Lincoln wasn't trying to do anything about a thing that didn't exist yet. As for JFK, I don't know what happened. But of all the possible scenarios, whichever one you think it is, I'm going to go ahead and bet against it.
do you actually know, I'm not saying this facetiously, how electricity works?
Yes.
Oh, really? Because that's funny.
Ask any question that you've ever had about anything in the
No, I
universe.
don't know. I don't want to
Wait,
know.
wait,
Terry
did he just say that like he knows everything? What the fuck was that?
Definitely has no idea how electricity works, but I love this delusional confidence. Ask me anything, Bill. I am Terry.
Right,
I
like,
know
what the
all.
hell was that?
What's on your mind?
How can we ensure that I don't die? That's really
Well,
the question that is
that's
most
it.
honestly on my mind.
And it's the easiest thing to answer. We have 5 elements in our DNA that make up our DNA. Hydrogen,
PTJ, is it bad that I prefer him?
carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus.
I mean, if we're just gonna hire people with no experience, I'll take Terrence Howard over Pete because Pete then showed us he's incompetent.
oxygen, DNA.
Fine.
And it's the easiest thing to
The question that is most honestly on my mind.
And it's the easiest thing
It's
to
some high
answer. We
shit
have
for
5
real.
elements in our DNA that make up our DNA. Hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen. All 5 of these elements sit up and line themselves. And if you look at the legs of the DNA, not across the
Yeah, sure.
look at the
I know
leg-
what you're talking about. The helix.
The helix is made up. This is where the phosphorus and the oxygen spits. I'm gonna hold up for a second. You will have one. You have one phosphorus waveform, and you have 4 oxygen atoms around it, wrapped around it.
Well, now
Then
looks
around
looks
each
like
one.
Terrence Howard is angry.
No, I'm not angry.
God damn it, now we have to listen to this asshole pretend to know what DNA is. A phosphorus waveform? You're looking for atom. Atoms are not waves, and even if they were, a waveform is a graphical representation of a wave. You were wrong twice within a single word. And then this whole song and dance he's doing with his fists for oxygen atoms, he's trying to describe a phosphate group. Wouldn't it be nice if you just knew literally anything about chemistry and could just say phosphate group? And that's the DNA backbone, which are not legs, you science illiterate toolbox. How long are you going to do this?
And then
A science illiterate toolbox. Yo, the thought of that is just fucking hilarious. Like, he's just full of science terminology and just pulls them out of the box and don't care about if he needs it or not.
They're going to steal that
and then
picture.
off of this oxygen, these legs will start to form. This is the DNA, how the DNA legs start to form up. And that's the 18th.
Now he's calling the parts in the middle the legs when first he said the legs and he said not the across. Now he's saying the legs. His own terms he's not even using correctly that he made up.
CG, and that's where the carbon and the nitrogen, and it'll get over here, hit another oxygen that's around 4 of these. Now, when we're young, under this high pressure, we're tight and everything is really good and things work well. The resonance, we got to think that everything is moving with resonance. This will be over in 30 seconds.
He starts by trying to describe base pairing even though he has no idea what DNA bases are. Then comes the bullshit. When we're young and there's high pressure, everything works well. Young DNA works well because of pressure and resonance. Why is Bill not pushing back on any of this bullshit?
Everything is moving with resonance. So as the information is going over, but the older we get, the further we get from the center of our galaxy, we're in a more vacuous space. The wider the space, now there's more room. And so all of the elements that would naturally, the carbon and the nitrogen that would be not right next to each other, or the hydrogen, it's separated out. So other
Dave
things
is
have gotten
out of
in there.
there.
That's how we age.
Bill Maher is
so
out of
all you
there.
have to do, take your prime resonant frequency, because there's a particular frequency that runs through your whole system, that runs across your fingerprint.
Okay, so how,
and you play that back to you under a compressed area underwater. Your whole body will tighten up. You increase the pressure condition. You don't have to die.
Look, I'm just done dissecting these pathetic word salads, okay? I'm Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon, and I'm too old for this shit. But the main takeaway is that stoned Terry is literally claiming to have discovered the key to immortality and expects people not to make fun of him everywhere he goes for his entire life. Bill? Nothing?
Exactly, Nova. I've said that before. Like, when you can know something is just flatly, plainly wrong as fuck, but you don't always have the means and the vocabulary to explain why. But it's like, Bill Maher knows this was just a bunch of bullshit. I don't even think he expected him to have a serious answer to that question. That seemed like a setup for a joke or something. And that shit was just a bunch of nothing.
access this frequency with parts found around the home?
With parts found around that, you can
See, he said, like, how do I do this at the house? Like, I think it was a setup for a joke.
Access this frequency with parts found around the home.
with parts found around that, you can.
Well, I mean, so I don't need anything special
You
not
don't
to
need
die?
nothing special. You just need to run an electrical current
But
through
I'm
your
going to keep
system.
getting older.
No. Run an electrical current through your system.
Yes, Bill, all you have to do is electrocute yourself and you'll live forever. Is there some point where we can say that Terry is a threat to society and do something about it? Freedom of speech is great and all, but this is really pushing it.
And I just had conversations with Lee Daniels about playing Marvin Gaye, and I was like, I'm
God, here we go
asking
with this shit.
Quincy.
I thought he said
hearing
this
rumors
somewhere else.
that Marvin was gay, and Marvin was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? And Quincy's like, yes. They would have wanted to do that, and I wouldn't have been able to do that. It wouldn't.
Well, you mean you?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't see Terrence Howard playing Marvin Gaye. I don't. That doesn't make sense to me at all. That don't make sense in the slightest. I don't see Terrence Howard playing Marvin Gaye. Like when he was playing a rapper, that was more believable. But playing a singer, no.
Couldn't kiss a guy on screen in a movie?
What? Why? Who said we would have to kiss a guy on screen? Who said if Marvin Gaye was gay, he wasn't openly gay. If he was, why do we have to? If he wasn't openly gay, there shouldn't be necessarily a reason he has to kiss a guy on screen. This is so stupid. Why? That wasn't his sexuality was not a big thing in his career.
No.
Not even, yeah.
It's not even a thing that's just accepted as a fact at this point. I don't even know if that's a broadly accepted fact that he was gay. I don't even know about that.
Because I don't fake it. I
Right.
literally, it has to.
I couldn't kiss a man either. That's
it-
true.
All right,
And
Waz,
that-
appreciate you,
that
big
would
dog.
fuck me.
Does not
I would
make
cut
me-
my lips off.
Yeah, no.
I would.
Okay,
If I kiss some man, I would cut my lips off.
well,
You would cut your lips off? Look, I get it. Us straight men aren't dying to kiss a man, but isn't this a little melodramatic? And sorry, you don't.
That's true, Nova, but it's like, first of all, he's saying that as if he got handed a script that said you have to kiss a man in it. And I don't think that's the case. I don't know, but he didn't present it in that way. It sounds like he just said it was Marvin Gaye gay. I got to kiss a man. Like if he was gay, it was a secret. And then it's like, if that's the case and you really wanted Terrence, it's like, does anybody have to kiss a guy because he's gay? That's not a big focal point in his career. No, there was rumors about Marvin Gaye being gay because I believe his dad was like not a cross-dresser, but his dad was like a kind of metrosexual type. And I think Marvin started to express that, and that's why his dad was violent towards him. I think his dad beat him, if I'm not mistaken. But Marvin Gaye's dad, he killed him, right? Yeah, I think Marvin Gaye's dad killed. Yeah, I think Marvin Gaye's dad killed him, and he basically didn't like him being kind of flamboyant because his dad was even known to be flamboyant around their family and friends. So I think it was just a suspicion of Marvin Gaye. Yeah, it was cross-dressing. I didn't know if it was like a Prince type thing or he cross-dressed. But yeah, his dad was like that, and I think Marvin started to express it, and then his dad like didn't like it or something because, you know, he was a Christian and shit. So I think he tried to like beat it out of him. I'm vaguely remembering the story, but I think there was a big reason as to why he killed him. Cross-dressing pastor. Yeah, he was, yeah.
Fake it? You mean the entire thing that acting is? If you can't fake things, then you're not actually an actor. Entire thing, a little melodramatic. And sorry, you don't fake it? You mean the entire thing that acting is? If you can't fake things, then...
That is a weird way to put it. I'm not saying that actors should be gay in movies if they don't want to, but to say, I can't fake it, like... Every role unless you're self-reporting, because people do think you play yourself in a lot of movies. So for you to say I can't fake it, that's weird. That's you're when you're acting, that's what you're faking it.
You're not actually an actor, Terry. You see, in movies, the actors are playing pretend. They aren't actually the characters in the movie.
I didn't know it was a TV movie. I didn't know it. What is it called, PTJ? I didn't know there was one that existed. I thought this would have been the first. I only know Marvin Gaye's story actually is from what them called a true crime YouTube channel I watch. He told Marvin Gaye's story where, not true crime, but like murderers and shit. It's called This Is Monsters, where he covers like, you know, murders.
Movie. I was pretty sure you knew that, since I assumed that acting was the one thing that you're actually good at. You know that lots of other actors have pretended to be gay or straight in a movie, right?
Like, but that don't mean every actor got to do that shit.
Good ones. Actually, it's a pretty surefire way
that was actually not a secret that his dad was a cross-dresser. Yeah. Yep.
Get nominated for big awards. Maybe you just need a few more acting lessons and then you'll be ready.
Men attracted to men. I mean, homosexuality is in nature. You know, animals. There are animals. Many, many, many animals.
Yeah, the bonobos, the bonobo monkeys, they practice it.
Well, practice it.
They do. All of them. Their whole the whole colony, everything. The bonobos, the entire interaction is sexual.
It can't be all of it if they still make it.
No, but they still do
making
that. But it's seen in there. It's seen in those
about
places.
Domination,
but for
though?
me, with my constitution of what matters as a man, for me.
Even better than Terry pretending to know things about bonobos is this part where he's talking about his constitution, referring to his inherent nature, but then starts miming like he's writing with a quill pen in the 18th century, signing the United States Constitution. His stupidity could be its own improv comedy troupe.
How much, in 1970, healthy male, how much sperm do you think he produces per heartbeat?
All right, I got it, PTJ.
I didn't know it was calculated that way.
Shit.
What do you mean per heartbeat?
Per heartbeat, and I'm
like
thinking
every
from
heartbeat you produce some sperm?
Yeah, every heartbeat. How much do you think a healthy male from 1970, 1969 was
good,
produced?
TJ.
Oh, 70. Oh, why didn't you say so?
Professor Dave Cook and Terrence Howard
70,
and
okay.
Bill Maher.
A healthy male from 1970, 1969 was produced.
Oh, 70. Oh, why didn't you say so? 70. Okay. Led Zeppelin was on the charts. I'm going to go with 100 per beat.
1,500 sperm per heartbeat.
And what is
for
it
a
now?
healthy male
And what is it
back then. That meant there was 250,000 to 500 million sperm in a healthy ejaculation. Now, the healthy ejaculation is 10 to 15 million sperm.
More?
No,
Less.
that's all we have left. 10 to
Oh.
15 million sperm
Silencer.
because of the phthalates, because of the BPAs, all the plastics, all of the things that's going into our system. And that's for all the males on the planet, not just us.
All the males, Bill, not just you and me. We aren't
Oh
the
my
only two that
God.
chew on plastic and have low sperm counts. It's everybody.
So it's estimated by 2045 there will not be any males left on the planet able to produce sperm. Be
By
any
what?
male.
It's everybody.
So it's estimated by 2045 there will not
Oh,
be
get the
any
fuck out of
males
here. Not
left
no 2045. That's way too soon. I thought he was going to say a number that was just way out there. 2040. Get the fuck out of
on
here.
the planet
Bro, this is stupid. Yes,
able to
all the
produce
males. All the males.
sperm.
Who made this brilliant estimation, Terry? Was it you? Or perhaps your ketamine dealer? Speaking as someone who has successfully fertilized an egg at least half a dozen times, everybody's loads are doing just fine. Give it a rest.
Where are they like, Dad?
Is
That's old
everybody's-
thinking, Dad.
It's
They
just
don't do
doing
that.
just
They
fine.
don't.
They don't do
So you
that.
see eye to eye and everything?
Because I was too honest with them. Like my daughter got mad at me because when she was 14,
I don't
called
believe
her and
that
I was
shit.
like,
No
"Hey,
way. Yeah.
I feel like killing myself because I was going through all that stuff with getting kicked out of Hollywood."
Because if they notice a pattern to the point where we will, if we was to the point by 2045 that all males wouldn't have enough sperm to produce, they would be taking action. They'll be telling us what we need to do to reverse it. Because that's way too soon.
And all of that, I put too much
That's
on
fucking
her.
20 years.
Wow, so you're a dog shit parent on top of everything else. Isn't that not a surprise at all?
They didn't believe anything about the science for the first few years until now. All of the patents, now all of the stuff flying.
Well, he
and
said he was able to do it 6 times, meaning he either had some scares or he got 6 kids, or maybe don't have 6 kids. But you get what I'm saying.
all of the changes and the what AI is doing with it. So now they're like they see me as the greatest hero right now because it's
Wow.
like because at one point my daughters was like, "I don't respect you as a man."
This is actually really sad. The first part sounds true. His kids probably know how full of shit he is and maybe even tell him so. But then Terry the narcissist needs to fabricate a better reality. So he brings up his patents that aren't real, and some stuff flying that isn't real, some vague changes which aren't real, what AI is doing with it which isn't real. And if you take all of those imaginary things into account, his kids now think he's a hero. Terry needs to be physically forced into therapy immediately.
This is what happens when
All
just
of the
so-
stuff flying.
This
What
is
was?
6
No, I missed it. What was he referring to?
pentagons coming together. Can you imagine that in the last 6,000 years of our recorded history, no one has ever put 6 pentagons together that way?
Why? What is it? Why is it good? What does it
I was
do?
going to say, what the fuck does that mean? Why are you saying that putting shapes together, nobody has ever done it before? What's the importance? I can't even, being his kid. Nah, bro, he better not be in the house talking about, have you ever seen somebody put 6 pentagons together? What?
This became the fractal. This is the linchpin. It's where
Stop
4
it.
bubbles
Bill
meet.
don't know what the fuck you
Yes, we're not
talking
going to
about.
wrap this up without Terry showing Bill some of his toys, which he's clearly been itching to do for almost 2 hours now. It's a fractal. It's where bubbles meet. This should be the part where Bill tells Terry that this shape has nothing to do with fractals,
Man.
but he's several drinks
Orlando would just be making noises and trying to suck his dick or something. I don't even know if that'll work out.
in, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Creates the form of electricity with what you said.
And then
When
what
Orlando and Charleston White sat down together, it was just a bunch of nonsense.
practical end does this give us? Like, what does this
Well,
get? Where does
before
this
we
get us?
thought it was a cube. Now we understand that we have 12 opposing vortices, harmonic vortices that's interacting. So now we're able to predict where planets are going to be, where we can predict all distribution of matter.
We definitely could predict that.
No,
before.
but we couldn't.
We could certainly predict where planets were going to be.
Terry, can you at least learn how to say these goddamn words? You're trying to say vertices,
He's
not
saying
vortices.
vortices, yeah.
Your dumb shape has
Yo,
vertices.
Alex, what's
and no,
good?
you can't use it to do any of that shit, which is why you've never used it to demonstrate any of that shit. Bill at least has the presence of mind to point out that Terry is just listing things that we already knew how to do anyway.
Last week, they discovered a planet that's 700 trillion miles away. which is like, I don't know,
4 light years.
No, I think way more than 4.
There was, okay, I saw a different one then.
4
Oh
light
my
years?
God.
Terry,
I saw a different one.
there is not a single star that is within 4 light years of our sun.
Try
There
and
are
get the fuck
literally
outta here.
0 exoplanets within 4 light years of us. Got any more stupid to randomly interject?
The story was that this could be or they said it was likely to be
Yep, Terrence
a
Howard.
planet that had life because
Of its proximity to its star.
no.
Another swing and a miss. Why are you pretending to know what's happening right now? Oh, right.
He can't just, it's like he's immune to just taking in some new information and learning something. He has to keep acting like he's one step ahead of whoever is saying something. I don't even know if Bill's right or not, but whether Bill know what he's talking about right now or he doesn't, Terrence not even willing to listen to him. He's just acting like he knows what he's talking about. Oh, he said 700 whatever trillion miles away. 4 light years. He was like, no, he's like, oh, I saw something else then. Now he's telling him something else. He like, yeah, what'd he say?
Because, or they said it was likely to be a planet that had life because
Of its proximity to its star.
no.
Another
Like, just stop trying to jump ahead and act like you know something. Learn something. It's okay. You don't have to know everything, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
swing and a miss. Why are you pretending to know what's happening right now? Oh, right. The narcissism.
Because they
Jesus.
detected in its atmosphere
Methane.
5 different chemicals.
He won't stop doing it. Holy shit, that is narcissism. Like, I know people like to throw that word around a lot, but that's narcissism because damn, like the 3 times you keep trying to tell his story, he's trying to tell you, whether it's true or not, I don't know. You won't let him just tell the fucking story or the information rather. Holy shit. That is so weird.
In its atmosphere,
Methane.
5 different chemicals that are
Bill's
only
annoyed.
present
Bill's
when
annoyed.
life basically is breathing.
That's the 3rd profoundly wrong answer he's given within about 30 seconds, and yet he still musters up a smug, all-knowing nod at the end of the story. Anything else?
I was very impressed that they could detect this from 700
God.
trillion miles away. So can you explain to me how they could detect what chemicals are in the atmosphere of something 700 trillion miles away?
This is what I don't like. You're asking him as if he actually knows this shit, and he doesn't. And you just keep getting ready to nod. He said, like, nigga, you was wrong with everything. Why are you nodding?
Right?
The answer, Bill, is spectroscopy. We analyze light that passes through an exoplanet's atmosphere, which will then bear the signature of the compounds in it. It doesn't matter how far away the light is. Let's
Oh.
see how Terry does.
Cool.
You ever heard of a spectrometer?
Have I heard of
You
one?
sound like he in the
I've got-
ballpark.
I've got one in
He
my
in the ballpark.
car.
Holy shit, Terry got a thing right.
Oh, shit,
And then
yeah.
Bill said he has one in his car, making him doubly stupid. So are we really going to conclude that Bill Maher is dumber than Terrence Howard? This is pretty unexpected. Let's see if Terry can hang on to this momentum.
No, a spectrometer, it basically, we as humans see only 0.005% of the total light spectrum. That's less than 1/2 of 1% of what is light. A spectrometer is able to see all of the other waveforms
Right.
that we're not able to pick up.
And then and by
So there's a chemical that every chemical has a prime resonant frequency by which it bonds or breaks its bonds. That frequency, you can have the Webb telescope sending a laser that's picking up, and that
Right.
consistency,
wow.
it's able to attach that to the periodic table. It says it has this here, this
Right,
here, this
okay.
here.
Very good.
And he lost it. Prime resonant frequency doesn't mean anything, and telescopes are not shooting lasers at distant objects. Terry really needs to learn how to say one correct word and then shut the fuck up.
And you see that it still fractals out or scales out with the same 4 vortices that it had And
He
4 of
keeps
those
saying
will bond and make
vortices.
larger
He
bonds.
keeps
And
saying
it's all
it.
predictable. So the Heisenberg uncertainty principle is gone now.
You still have no clue what the Heisenberg uncertainty principle is, or what chemical bonds are, or what fractals are, or that vortices is not the word you're looking for, or that nobody gives a shit about your dumb toys.
And these things fly.
Fly like a drone?
They fly. No, not like a flight vehicle, not like a drone. Patents been granted worldwide. And I'm like, this should have never made it through.
Shouldn't have.
It should have never made it through. Somebody should have snatched this and said, hey, it's
Holy
that
shit.
important of a
Right.
thing.
No, they can't fly, or you'd be making them fly right now. How does he have the balls to make these ridiculous assertions, and why isn't he being asked to substantiate them?
Because I needed the money that you go make $2-3 billion off of me and give me, I've got 28 million viewers. The people on Big Bang Theory
But
has,
that's your agent's job.
yes, my agent's job, but they had packaged the deal. So they were incentivized to keep my pay low. And so they're telling me that, no, it's because you and Taraji are favored nations and we couldn't come to a deal with her that we got to keep you at $325,000 an episode when you got 28 million viewers. And they did that for 6 years.
Well, this is starting to make a lot more sense. Terry thinks that $250,000 per episode to play pretend wasn't enough because he's an ungrateful asshole. So he started suing everybody, and now nobody will work with him. Alienating everyone in his industry, making his own children ashamed of him, beating the shit out of women and then accusing them of lying about it. If someone makes it to their mid-50s and is still blaming the whole world for everything that's wrong with them, there's just no hope. They'll go to their grave that way.
Yeah, you're right, Nova. I think he gave up and he's just like asking questions just to see how much stupid shit he could say or probably get a clip or something out of it. Bill's not in the conversation no more because this motherfucker's just stupid.
Anyway, that's about it. This conversation was much lighter on the pseudoscience than Rogan or PBD. It was more focused on light stonery banter that Terry kept trying to shift towards his bullshit, but then relenting when Bill kept bringing it back to whatever he wanted to talk about. Which honestly was refreshing for me because I needed for this piece to be short. Unless Terry starts talking about me by name and challenging me to debate him or something, I need to not look at this guy's face for a little while. As for Bill, this is a bit of a tangent, but there is a comedian named Kyle Dunnigan who does an impression of Bill that is absolutely breathtaking. Here's just a little taste.
You're one of those people. Who thinks you're one of those people? You're not. Okay. Okay, you don't. You're wrong. You people. There's no God. Okay.
On November 8th, democracy will be dipped in batter, fried, and then eaten. And for those of us who aren't mad-tarded, it won't be a happy meal. 'Twas the minute before my hooker gets here, and all through the house, my penis was stirring, because I just took a dick pill.
What?
So while we wait for my whore and my boner, I would like to take this minute to explain to Zillennials what being an adult is.
Tune in next week when my guests are Benjamin
that
Netanyahu
shit
and the
funny.
hot Tula girl.
Not only is the voice absolutely perfect,
Oh
but
my
Kyle knows
God.
exactly how to lace into him for being a Zionist jackass and also a lecherous creep who does shit like this.
I mean, first of all,
That was funny.
you know, you're adorable, you're cute. You learned that thing about spitting from porn.
And the best part of all this is that Bill Maher hates this impression and hates Kyle's guts, which only makes Kyle do the impression every chance he gets. Here he is whining about it on Rogan's show.
He does a great impression of you.
I didn't know who he was.
Have you ever seen the face swap version that he does of you on Instagram?
No.
Oh,
I don't know what
find that
means.
before we leave. What's that? Kyle, did I say Klinsky? Sorry, Kyle.
We don't have to look at this. I'm leaving.
It's amazing.
It's absolutely hilarious to me how much of a poor sport Bill is about this, as though he's so smart and sophisticated that nobody should be able to do an impression of him. If he's that upset about people mocking what a garbage person he is, he could just change and be less of a garbage person, but you know what the odds are with that. So in summary, Kyle's impression of Bill is one of my favorite things in the universe,
That shit
and everyone
funny.
should support Kyle's comedy. This impression needs to be world famous. And while we're at it, let's see if we can make sure that this video gets more views than the podcast episode itself. It's under 300,000, so it's very achievable. Let's make Bill hate me just as much as
Yeah,
Kyle.
he said you learned that from Corn. Yeah.
So that's it for Bill and Terry.
And that's
Unless
what she
Terry
said.
suddenly does something really outrageous, I'm probably
'Cause
going
why
to
you
put this
saying
toy
that to
down
that
for a
young
while,
ass
as
girl?
It's getting a little old. But who knows what the future will bring. Until next time.
Okay. So I have to pee, and then I have to get more to drink. Cause I be thirsty from all this talking. But I'm not gonna leave with nothing to watch. So appreciate y'all for still sticking here. This a music video my friend did when I was in Georgia from, 6 years ago. And I'm dancing in it. And then after that, if I'm not back in time, I have another one queued up that I was in like 3 years ago. Wait, how can I do this? I could do it like this, right? No, stop. Oh my God. Y'all just pissed me off, bro. Hold on. Why are they doing me like that, bro? They doing me so dirty, bro. You better not be twerking. No, I'm going to save that one for later. The twerk joint. I'm going to save that for later. Yeah, I want to make sure. Okay, here we go. Why does they keep? Oh my fucking gosh, bro! Stop. I'm trying to make sure it plays next, but they keep like moving the motherfucking cursor. And I'm somewhere I'm not trying to move it. Fucking bitch. Hopefully I could be done in time, bro. Hold on. I gotta piss so bad. But no, I ain't twerking, bro. Come on. Okay, well, whatever plays after it is what plays after it. But yeah, I'm in this music video. I gotta go pee. That's all, y'all. I'll be right back.
I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. When I gotta get it, go a mile a minute. Not a politician, but I got a vision. I can take it about it if it got a minute. We gon' pack it, we don't fold for 'em. We don't gossip, this ain't no form. She wanna get subpoenas, no court forms. She bad as acting in them old porns. I'm a genius in my fourth form. I can charge up and go SS God. Got me dragging super balls extra large. Clearly I'm the best at this job. Against them bars, oh bless his heart. The rest of him will get left in parts. Messy globs, you address me odd for the weak shit. I am definitely not. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. You ain't in the dirt, you don't even work. Putting feet word till my feet hurt. Then I smoke weed and I leave earth. A man see that she flirt, now he hurt. Bring the pussy home in a beamer, tagging that pussy like street turf. At least you got a freak, it could be worse. A nigga winning no time, lapping niggas 4 times, running while you waiting for the go sign. Fuck your kind, fuck a cosign. Get selling too low when your flow dry. Hot crew so fly, you not like a bow tie. You pop like a 4-5, you flop, you got no drive. Plus I don't like your vibe, shorty. Shorty got cakes, got buns. But if she want a cake, I run. While you wait for cake to come, I told you I don't wait for none. Ayy, shorty got cakes, got buns. But if you want a cake, I run. While you wait for cake to come, I told you I don't wait for none. Right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now. patience, I need my shit right now. I ain't got the patience, I need my shit right now.
Forget everything you think you know. Whatever lessons you learned in school.
This should start at the beginning. Oh, that's the beginning. Oh, yeah. Okay. Back. Oh, TJ. Nah. Control our debate is going back into drawing board till for now. Yeah. What I had next? All right, so the other thing I was going to go over. Y'all want me to go over the Kanye Sneeko Piers Morgan interview or fuck that shit? Or fuck that shit. Do we watch CAD here? Oh. No, it's no control alt debate tonight. It's going back into the drawing board with that. You feel me? It's not done for good. It's just twerking. Look, y'all got me saying twerking. Some tweaking needs to happen for the show. Ooh, that seems interesting. Sneeko Piers interview. All right.
Two years ago, I interviewed Kanye Ye West on Uncensored after he'd made global headlines for anti-Semitic outbursts. Most outrageously, he tweeted that he wanted to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. It was a heated interview. It was a long interview. I held him to account. I told him his remarks were offensive. He caused many people a lot of pain. And he gave me some back, of course. He called me a Karen. Fair enough, I can take it. At least we had a mostly grown-up conversation. These constant tirades, Ye, against Jewish people.
Have you felt my pain yet? You haven't felt my pain. You don't want to feel my pain.
TJ,
you don't hold accountability. You don't hold accountability to my pain. You're being a Karen.
Do you believe that you have any form of mental illness?
I believe that I suffered from exhaustion. I believe that I suffered from exhaustion. I suffered from being lied to constantly by the people around me, by my management, by my ex-wife.
Do you still love Kim?
Wait, PTJ, I don't know what the why not is. Is the why not to control our debate or why not do this video?
Love her for life.
That interview lasted 2 hours in the end. We covered a lot of ground. There were moments of tension and moments, I think, of mutual understanding. Yeah, he got up and walked off at one point, but he had to think about what he wanted to say, and when he came back, and he said it.
And we'll have the top lawyers like a Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian level legal team, looking at all of these contracts together. After that moment happens, then I will say, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if that's your position,
that's clear. Interview adjourned. Love you.
Yeah, thanks for sitting back down. I'll change the subject.
How you gonna adjourn the video, the interview, and come back?
This guy's head, and he's unquestionably a genius artist with a global fan base and massive talent. He's lived most of his life under the microscope of intense fame, and that pressure alone can make people behave very oddly. Back then, I was trying to understand if Ye had any regret or remorse for what could have been a relatively isolated incident or some kind of episode. I wanted to know if he understood there are consequences for his words and whether he was genuinely a racist. What we now know is just the tip of the iceberg. As far as the watching public is concerned, Ye has spiraled in both his personal life and his business life. Most recently, he's taken to posting endless, outrageous anti-Semitic slurs on X. He frequently professes his great love for Adolf Hitler. He poses in swastikas and KKK costumes. He says things like Jews were better as slaves and they should be whipped. We all know this because X has allowed him to carry on doing it to his 33 million followers. I've argued for a long time his account should be shut down. It should be stopped. That's my opinion. I believe passionately in free speech and I detest censorship because I believe in the importance of sharing honestly held opinions in a democracy. But posting endless, vile, anti-Semitic insults, encouraging violence against Jewish people in these unhinged tirades on a privately owned platform has got nothing to do with free speech. I invited him back.
I didn't hear the song. I seen he had a song with the title like "Hail Hitler" or something, but I didn't hear the actual song.
Followers who see his post without any challenge whatsoever. Our producer spotted that he was in Spain with his friend Sneeko, and we invited both of them on for an interview. They very quickly agreed, and Sneeko spent several days talking about it. But they mucked us around, a significant expense, both in time and money, to me, my crew in Spain.
He said, never mind all the anti-black shit. That
More
is true.
More importantly, he didn't turn up yesterday. And said one to do today.
About that.
Well, it seemed to me then it might all just be a stunt. But I went ahead and said, okay, we'll have another go today. Ye told Sneeko not to be offended if he stormed off very shortly before today's interview started. You can judge for yourself how it went and whether Ye has any respect or, frankly, any marbles. I'm not a shrink. But if you're so delusional or fragile you don't expect a journalist to ask you questions about your publicly stated love of Hitler, you should probably talk to somebody other than me. What followed, frankly, was a farce.
I'm getting you multi-tracks right now. I'm about to step in this interview, but I can hop back on in about whenever it's done. That nuance right there, it's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
What are you talking about?
We have to admit this is somewhat
Pierce should have did his little monologue thing after this. Like, that was a lot of talking to introduce the interview. I mean, I guess this is the format, so I guess.
You know, this is going to be laughed at by.
Well, no, I'm right, because he usually does this. He does the coming up, then he does the monologue. He should have did that first. He should have did this first.
What's entertaining?
That's the normal format.
That was funny.
Ye West is rarely out of the headlines at the moment. It's fair to say the headlines are equally rarely positive. The rapper, producer, and fashion designer is currently working on a new album. Several new tracks were previewed on a recent live stream with his friend Sneeko. And both Sneeko and Ye join me now. Well, welcome to Uncensored. Ye, we haven't spoken for a while. How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't use the term West, you know, the whole drop the slave name idea.
Okay, so we just call you Ye, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, look, when I last interviewed, we had a long conversation. And since then, a lot has happened in your life. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to try and talk to you about some of this. How would you say your life is at the moment?
I mean, you see that view?
Yeah.
So much you see that. Why Sneeko dressed like he a bodyguard or something, and that's all black with the earpiece on and shit? Like, dog, cut it out. Cut it out, bro.
Your life is good?
Well, judge it on the view as the answer to how my life is.
Bro.
Judge me by the view.
So judge you by the view. So, like, we all know, and you're a clear example that money doesn't make you happy. What the fuck are we talking about?
Well, the view is Mallorca. I've been there. It's a beautiful place. And for all intents and purposes, you seem very relaxed and happy.
I don't know, Nova.
That is in direct contrast
I don't know.
to
I don't know if you have a claim
public image at the moment over the last couple of years, led by your ferocious Well, hang on, let me finish the question. Led by your ferocious use of...
No, but I already disagree. It's not in contrast. There's so many people and artists that are championing the idea of someone being able to just express who they really are and have been able to go through the war
He's a
of
demon.
being attacked by the banks, being attacked, by the banks. That's the best way to put it, being attacked by the banks and to still be here with this view.
I can't take Sneeko looking like this fucking, like he the hitman or something. Like, bro, stop it, please stop.
That's the win. So I think that's.
Sneeko, I think so.
Okay, but the point I was going to make is that I watch what you put out on X. You got 32 million followers, so you're one of the most followed people.
See, wait. Now look right now. You're not gonna take inches off my dick, bro. Like, how many followers do I have?
Well, how many is it?
I think you could do the study. You got a whole staff over there.
I thought it was 32 million. How many is it? You obviously know.
Don't help them out. They.
I'm told it's 33 million now. So congratulations. You're slightly bigger following than I thought.
No.
It's so fucking petty, bro. Like, don't take inches off my dick, bro. Like, damn. You got, if that's the barometer, you good, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. He was off by 1 million. Come on, bro. Like, we need to stop. And I noticed because he said 33 in the beginning, but he obviously recorded that opening monologue, after the interview because he was explaining why this was a farce. This was some bullshit. So he got it right after. He said 32, but it's 33. Do you really think that was intentional disrespect? Now, if he said you got 10 million followers on X, yeah, then yes, he is trying to take inches off your dick. Pause. But come on, bro. That's just so fucking petty.
No, congratulations. Your information is correct. You're not just some, dude trying to sub. I'm a gift, bro. You know what I mean? Why do all you people in media act like you haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduations or at funerals or when your child was born? You take some.
Who played? First of all, what song are you playing at a funeral of Kanye's? Not if there. I ain't saying there ain't none, but what is it if it was? And when your child was born, who is your child got born and you just play some Kanye? I don't get it. I could see maybe Touch the Sky at a graduation maybe, but outside of that, what the fuck you talking about funerals and when your child was born? Bro, who the fuck do you think you are? Who plays music when a child is born?
Somebody that's living like a Lennon, a Michael Jackson. And
hey, that just made me think of something so stupid. Y'all know, what if in the maternity ward, like when kids are born, they played the intro to Sister Sister and it'd be like, hey, I would love to hear that. Oh my God. That would be funny if every time kids was born, that's what they played over the intercom.
Just take all this time to just
shit.
Like that nuance right there. It's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
What are you talking about? I haven't said anything.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Okay, now you're not taking accountability.
Yeah, because he is going on a rant about some shit that never even got brought up.
Or responsibility.
Literally, you said you implied I haven't played your music. Of course I played your music.
No, sir. This is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count.
Okay. Where's he gone, Sneeko?
That's it for Ye. It's nice to meet you, Piers.
Bro, like, and then Sneeko's sitting here looking like a cuck again in his chair. I was like, I don't even like the cuck joke, but this time it's kind of like, why did Ye troll everybody with an album named Cuck and then you kicking it with Sneeko and Sneeko is sitting there smiling like after he just left him looking stupid. First of all, this is a Ye interview, Sneeko. Why the fuck are you even there?
Where's he going?
Even if he's kicking it with you, why the fuck are you next to him while he does this interview? I'm sorry, bro. As much as I would love to have a bigger name in media, if Kanye decided to kick it with me at this point in time, that's so dead. That's so dead. Sneeko is desperate as desperate gets for some type of attention, because if he didn't do this right now, nobody would be speaking of his name at all, because Sneeko has just lost his relevance. And then honestly, this is a step back. Even though he's getting talked about, this is a step back. This ain't gonna help your career, bro.
I think
You look bad. Even if you got fans, just seeing Kanye's behavior, even fucking Gen Z, I don't think a lot of them approve of Kanye's behavior. They don't even have the same affinity for Kanye as like millennials do. So they probably really don't give a fuck about this nigga. So you're not appealing to anybody.
Back to work, there's several things he's working on. I was not aware he was going to leave like this, but it seems like he got upset about the...
So it's all just a game, is it? Is that the idea?
Followers. I mean, life is a video game, is it?
Super corny.
No, I just wondered what the point of this exercise was. Was he supposed to do an interview or not?
He's supposed to do an interview, but I mean, the amount of Twitter followers, something like that, it's patronizing for no reason.
Piers
he said
is super blue.
his name incorrectly. You know his name is Ye. This is very public about that.
That could be an easy mistake, though. Like, we've been calling him Kanye West for a long, and he even remembered not to call him Kanye and said Ye West, and he said he want to drop his name. Like, I still call him Kanye. It's hard for me to just call this man Ye. That's not easy for me to do.
Hopefully we could do it. I think this was good. We were prepared for a good interview.
Yeah, nobody likes Kanye, so Gen Z definitely don't
what you were
care.
doing.
Especially if he
What do you think I'm doing?
I think you were
Life
trying
is
to
a video
patronize very intentionally by getting those two things, under his skin. Maybe it could have been about past interviews or because of what happened yesterday. But, I mean, this information is not that difficult to get right.
Oh, please.
Yeah, we called him Ye, and we got his Twitter following count wrong by 1 million, from 32 to 33 million. Also, for the record, you guys dicked us around yesterday, and you seem to find that very entertaining and amusing in your live stream, which I'm sure you will now. You kept all my crew in Spain and here waiting, and then wasted their time. And then you got us all back now, and you've wasted our time again. And you again may find that funny and entertaining, and that's fine. I don't. I think it's a total waste of everyone's time and effort and money.
Well, I mean, it is. I was ready for the interview yesterday, too. My time is important as well.
Shut the fuck up. Your time is not important. You was kicking it with Kanye because you ain't got shit else to do but try to get some type of relevance. Stop it. Stop it. Your time ain't that important because you're kicking it with a fucking anti-Semite.
You have to admit, this is somewhat entertaining. This is going to be laughed at by many people.
What's entertaining?
Piers is blue, honestly, because like you said, he got dicked around the day before, and then he gets him today, and he wastes his time.
That was funny. That's undeniably walking off right into the beginning.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he got the earpiece. Like, do he think he a bodyguard? Like the all black and shit. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I want to play Hitman. This making me one. I'm probably finna play Hitman once I'm done with this. Not that Sneeko's a Hitman, but it's just funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I think he knows this was gonna do numbers, but I think he is honestly blue because Pierre's gonna do the numbers regardless. So he'd rather have a interview where he could probably expose Ye as a bigger anti-Semite than he's already shown himself to be. Just like we saw how he tried to goad that woman into saying the N-word on his show, and Mark Lamont had to stop it. So excuse me. So he was definitely looking for more stuff to use.
Out of interest, what do you do with him?
I'm working on several
you're right.
Right now.
This is a waste. Like you said, he got his time wasted yesterday and today. It's fucked up, but he gonna do numbers regardless. But I think a real interview would have done better than this because it's not that. Because this could get clipped easily where people don't have to watch all of it.
Streaming out here, I'm editing, and I work on things behind the scenes. Some inspiration for art. I'm just there to try to help fulfill his vision.
Well, let me ask you the questions I would have asked him. So, I mean, out of interest, what is with his obsession with Hitler? Why is he so rampantly anti-Semitic?
I'm not going to answer questions on his behalf.
Well, you're going to have to
I can't
because he's
answer
not there.
questions on his behalf.
He's not there.
What's that?
He's not there. Literally, he's dropping a track today called Heil Hitler. Why are you happy to be associated with somebody like that out of interest?
I'm not going to speak on his art and his vision. While
I'm
he's not
asking
here.
you.
I find
I'm
it
asking you
inappropriate.
why you're happy to be associated with somebody who most of the world believes is now a rampant anti-Semite.
Well, you're associated as well. Your show's called Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Yeah.
You tried to get him
What
censored
the fuck
on
that
X.
got to do with
And
anything?
here you are on the days we're going to release this song doing an interview with him. So we're all involved here. It's not like I'm the only one complicit.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to get him on was because I don't think anyone holds him to account for anything he does on X. And in fact, he deliberately breaches all of X's rules, and yet he does it with impunity and is allowed to do it, whereas millions of other accounts get suspended for far less offences. So I was going to ask him directly, which is why I mentioned his X following. I was going to ask him about what he puts on X and why he does this, why he continually attacks
Ain't nobody
Jewish
come to
people,
see you,
why he
Otis.
continually celebrates Adolf Hitler. And then I'm curious about, given he's not there, can't answer these questions, what your association is with this guy and whether you're comfortable to be associated with somebody who most people consider to be an anti-Semite.
I think I just answered this question. And these are good questions. I think I just answered half.
We
of
haven't
that
answered
one.
the question, though, have you?
But I mean, if I did, you said, "What are you doing out here?" And I said, "I'm doing films and I'm recording behind the scenes and I'm streaming and I'm editing and helping fulfill his
Have
vision."
you been helping him with the track Heil Hitler?
No, I don't.
No,
I'm not
I know they're using it to hear him, but it's just funny because of how Sneako's dressed. I know it's to hear him.
He's a guy. And if you wanted to get questions about his Twitter or X,
His
correct,
whole outfit is.
then you should have got the number of followers
funny.
correct. That was something intentional that you knew what you were doing.
So I got
if you
the
know
size of his
everything
dick
about what
wrong.
he's
Is
tweeting,
that what you say?
well, if you know everything else that he's tweeting, you should have got that right as well.
Oh, don't be so pathetic,
Come
Sneako.
on.
Honestly,
That's
what you're
some
trying to do
bullshit.
is you're trying to get good content which will promote you, Sneako. And I'm just curious how you, Sneako, deal with the fact that you are so openly associating yourself
You
now
asked that question a
with
few
somebody
times,
who
and I
seems
mean, I
to
can ask you the same
worship
thing.
Adolf
If
Hitler and is pro the Nazis. Do you feel comfortable about that?
No, we worship God. There's a
No,
if
no,
it is
he
more
worships
pathetic
Adolf
that
Hitler.
I'm here promoting
We
this. We
worship
can talk
God.
about how
He
pathetic it
worships
is that
Adolf Hitler.
you were essentially working for Israel up until a couple months ago and
Really?
promoting
When was I
things
working for
like
Israel?
genocide and not pushing back.
When was I working for Israel?
If it's pathetic to make films behind the scenes of one of the greatest living artists, probably the greatest living artist, you think
Well,
it's
he
pathetic,
certainly was.
You point the finger
He
at you and
certainly
say it's
was a
pathetic as
great.
well.
He was a great artist. Unfortunately, he's become a rampant anti-Semite who adores Adolf Hitler, embraces Nazism, uses swastika slogans.
I'm pretty sure he says he loves
to
everyone.
sell his
I'm not
merchandise,
gonna speak
and
for
has a
him,
new
but
record out called Heil Hitler. So forgive me if I don't currently
the
see
song is
him
not. I mean,
as one of the
everything you're
world's
saying
great
in this question
artists.
is incorrect.
Yeah. I don't see
Everything
him.
you're saying in this question is incorrect.
Sorry?
The song isn't out. The song isn't out for one. And two, he says he loves everyone. He says he loves Jews. He says he loves Hitler. He says he loves.
He says he loves. He says he loves. He says he loves. What about his actions?
Really?
Everybody. But
Right,
this
so
could
when he
be-
says,
Yeah,
well,
just-
let me ask you, given you're the one sitting there, he said Jews were better as slaves. You have to put your Jews in their place and make them into your slaves. You then said make your Jews work for you, but watch them as close as you can, whip the Jews. You comfortable with that, Sneako?
I think it's. I find it funny. That's not something that I would do personally. I don't whip
You think it's
anybody.
funny,
I
do you?
don't,
Whipping
condone
Jews?
slavery.
Using Jews as slaves? You think that's
I think
funny?
the context of that is funny. Yeah.
What's
and
the
also
humour?
to
I'm
remove
missing,
any sense of
I'm
humor
missing
from
the
that is
humour. What's the
ridiculous.
humour?
It's. I mean, do you want me to break down a joke for you?
You think it's a joke, do you, about whipping Jews?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a joke because I've been here for a couple weeks and he hasn't whipped any Jews.
Really?
Oh
So
my
because he hasn't actually
God,
whipped
that's
any
the
yet,
standard.
That's a joke.
That's
really
the
has.
standard.
Yeah.
Really has. But Piers, before I leave, I don't want to speak on his behalf. If you're agreeing
But what
that
choice
he's
do we
the
have? You
greatest
set
living
this
artist
thing.
right now,
You set this farce up. He's dicked us around. You're the one left, so you're going to have to be accountable for him. Unless you want to walk away too.
accountable. What do you want to hold me accountable?
If you don't want to answer questions either, you are free to stand up and walk away like a little sniveling
Well, you could ask
coward
questions.
too.
If you have questions for me, then I'll feel free to
Peter's
answer them.
over it, like a little sniveling coward too.
Walk away like a little sniveling
Well, you could ask
coward
questions.
too.
If you have questions for me, then I'll feel
You
free
know
to
what?
answer
Here's my
those.
question
But
for
just
you.
as,
Why
when
is
it
your
comes to
mate?
Ye,
Why is your mate Ye?
is this whole thing going to be interrupting, or
Why is your
is
mate
this whole
Ye?
thing just
Why-
going to be
look,
interrupting?
mate,
Or do you want me to speak
look,
at all?
You're sounding like Andrew Tate Light, like his annoying little younger brother we never knew about. Okay, doesn't work with me. Okay, you set this thing up. It's obviously some kind of elaborate prank.
Okay,
that you're
your team asked
with
me to
your
do
mate
this.
Ye.
If you want to be
But given that
Netanyahu
you-
light on TV,
but given you want to make, given
if you want to be
okay,
Dave
you think it's
Portnoy
all
with the
funny,
suit,
it's fine.
then sure. If you want to do ad hominem attacks, then why invite someone on your show? I set this up because your team asked me to do it. I did everything that I could.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Kanye is more loved as a producer than a rapper. Like he's a good artist. I mean, he may be in the top 20, but he's definitely not top 5. Kanye is top 20.
If I knew that this would, I'm not here wasting your time. You're angry at
I'm not
me
even comfortable saying top 10, but definitely top 20.
for setting up an interview that you wanted. If you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer those.
Here's
If
my
you want to
question.
keep doing insults, there's no point in me being here.
Why did Ye stand up like a sniveling little coward and walk away before I could ask him difficult questions?
For the third time, Piers, I don't know if you have a hearing problem, but I'm not going to answer questions on another man's behalf. But
Really?
thank you for
Even though
having
you
me. If
set
would
up
like
the
to talk
interview with
one-on-one
him.
another time, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
thank
tell
you.
him from me he's a sniveling little coward and he's an anti-Semite and a Hitler worshipper. That's what I would have asked him if he'd had the balls to sit there and take the questions. And there you are, proudly associating yourself with him. Good luck to you, Sneeko. Everyone can see you for what you are. Piers
Piers was trying to get his shit off. Piers was trying to get his shit off with that one. Excuse me. Oh my God. Yeah, man. But that was like Sneeko down bad because he could. It's just so much. I heard like some people was saying like he was making a redemption with making his own creative content again. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were saying. Like he was doing decent when he tried to do his own thing again. He might have made a comeback, realizing all the shit he was doing was stupid. Like when he was saying like the manosphere only could last so long and shit like that. But now, well, let me kick it with Kanye. Like, come on, bro. And he's also top 5 burnout. Sneako's like, yeah. Piers be fishing, boy. Just like when he tried to get that woman to say nigga on the show. Like he was like, I'm getting my moments. I'm getting my moment. He ain't give a fuck. And Mark said, "You not finna tell I'm gonna be the victim of this." And look, I don't know if y'all noticed, but a lot of the right-leaning, you know, all the right pundits and the reactors, they all like, liberal loses it on Piers Morgan because of the N-word. Like, they really, like, that's all I'm saying is everybody trying to clown Mark for losing his shit. But if you know Mark, he wasn't mad. Mark was just like, y'all not finna play with me right now. But I didn't feel like he was mad. I think he was like this. I think he was annoyed as fuck. But that wasn't Mark angry. But of course, they don't care. They don't know. They smart for using that moment. Of course, it's gonna bolster their argument. But it's just kind of hard to. Let's see who talk. Let's see what Michael
in
Knowles
pop culture
has to say about this. Let's see what Michael Knowles has to say about this. Another Daily Wire dummy. Michael Knowles is second to Matt Walsh for dumb takes.
All still talking about the N-word. Now, the very fact that I'm saying the N-word shows you that this is the unspeakable word. As I wrote in my book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds, it is the word, thank you. It is the word that is treated with the awe and reverence with which the ancient Israelites treated the unspeakable name of God. It's a fact. As I also point out in my book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds, taboos are real, thank you. And they just do exist. Taboos are not necessarily a bad thing. Every culture has taboos. That's a taboo in our culture right now. So that's one reason why people don't say it. Then Shiloh Hendricks, while some Somali kid was robbing her toddler on the playground.
While some Somali kid was robbing her toddler. Do y'all see how these people frame the shit? Robbing her a 5-year-old robbing a toddler. You gotta be kidding me. That's his framing. While some kid was robbing her toddler.
And in Minnesota, Shiloh, while some Somali kid was robbing her toddler on the playground in Minnesota, Shiloh Hendricks allegedly said the word, and then some alleged Somali child rapist started filming.
Allegedly, she didn't deny it. It's kind of mind-boggling how y'all see, like, if y'all don't watch right-wing content, this is how they frame shit. Just like they'll say Austin Metcalf, this innocent young white boy that was with his team, you know, they were all hanging out, and then some black kid from another school comes up and walks up to him and stabs him. Like that, it's just like, it's mind-boggling. The woman didn't deny it. Why are you saying allegedly?
Filming her and said, did you say that word? And then she said the word multiple times, and then the internet gave her over $500,000. I think now it's up to $700,000. So now we're all talking about the N-word, a word that we're not even saying. Piers Morgan, a true master of television who just knows how to create TV that we all have to watch.
That's what
Piers
I'm saying.
Morgan,
Like, how does a 5-year-old rob somebody? And I know he was dead ass serious. That wasn't a joke. He wasn't trying to be funny.
Invites a woman on to debate the use of the word, and it goes about as you would expect.
Do you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do, quite frankly.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means
Why the woman all the way to the end? I just now looked at her from when we watched it. I didn't look at her. Why does she look like she's finna throw up or something? Maybe she's sick of these Myron and Lily, but damn, she just looks she looked constipated or something. Jesus.
Helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different
Sorry, but just to
kind
be
of
clear,
thing.
you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Correct. She said correct.
Cinema. This is the Martin Scorsese meme. TV.
Yeah,
this is good.
Not breathing,
Man,
Nova.
is this good TV? You got to give it to Piers and to this gal, Lily. I don't have her exact name. Lily something or other, who went viral, by the way. This just shows you what great TV this is. Piers has her and he goes, we're all debating the N-word. Would you ever say the N-word? This girl only went viral for saying the N-word in this video.
You're getting the opinion of some dumb and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke snake.
Okay, broke ninjas. Broke fellas. Broke the end. That's what she said. By the way, the producers tell me her name is Lily Gaddis. So she went viral, as do many young women on TikTok, for being kind of outrageous and demanding attention. And she got the attention she demanded, so that's fine. But notice here, she's using the word in a way that has nothing to do with race. Right? She's using the word truly as it is used in rap songs and as it is used in pop culture to mean fellas, to mean guys, to mean buddies. I'm dating those broke fellas. The way she's using it in that video has nothing to do with race. But she got a lot of blowback for it, and then she doubled down, and now that's her thing. Now that's what Piers Morgan calls her to talk about, and then pretends like he doesn't know that she supports using that word. She's kind of backed herself into a corner into defending the word on racial grounds, when in fact the reason she went viral in the first place is to use the word colloquially and say, hey, look, if you're using this word in an innocent way, like, you shouldn't have your life ruined. It's not that big a deal. The taboo is...
Then you use it, Matt. Like, it's just funny. Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not the guy that's going to chastise a white person for uttering the word. For me, it depends on context. You can hate me for that. That's how I feel. I'm not the person that's like, no white person should ever have that word leave their mouth under any circumstance. That's not how I feel about it. My problem with her is she uses it liberally. She don't use it to like quote somebody or to sing a song. I seen other videos of her. She say that shit to insult people. So I don't approve of the way she uses it, because then she could make that as an excuse to use it like he's trying to claim she just used it to talk about the fellas. So Matt, I love how you feel that way. Like, oh, she's just talking about men, fellas, the guys. You say it, Matt. Just use it to refer to your friends since you want to defend it.
Is too intense for this word by any reasonable standard, which is a fair point that she's making, that she is implicitly making in the first video. In the second video, it's a less reasonable point when she says, yeah, I call black people this word all the time. And whenever it's appropriate. When's it appropriate? Whenever I feel like it, that's when it's appropriate. This is kind of, tyranny of the will, voluntarist vision of using words. And she's backed herself into a corner. And This is a political issue
McLovin.
because I find that conservatives have backed
Yeah, if Eminem, honestly, that's the bar. If Eminem can't say it, no other white person on earth can say it. I'm sorry. If Eminem don't and can't say it, y'all can't say it. I don't give a fuck.
themselves into a corner.
I'm halfway joking.
On the N-word and on all of these discussions. And actually, you know, I hate to say I told you so, and I've mentioned my book twice now today on the show. I wrote my book largely to prevent conservatives from backing themselves into a corner here.
Right, Tron, that's what's blowing me. They'll defend the fuck out of it. Even when Matt was like, you know, I'm even here sitting and saying the N-word, but at the same one, I would say the S-word or the F-word. No, bitch, you would curse before you ever say the N-word on your show. You know damn well you would never say that word. So stop trying to act tough. You're just glad that you can defend somebody else saying it that don't have as much to lose as you fuckhead. Him and Michael, they know they won't say that shit, so don't sit here and try to defend it.
Because now this debate, once again, is about free speech. But as I mentioned, the first time around, when we were talking about Shiloh Hendricks, when I was defending people who donated to her, when I was pointing out the cultural context and grievances that led to this interaction on a playground, I pointed out, no one, not one person, is seriously defending calling a 5-year-old kid a racial slur.
Yes, they are, because they're saying it in the comments and they're giving her money. Yes, they are. Stop it. You fucking, oh my God.
That has nothing to do with the Shiloh Hendricks story. That has nothing to do with the GoFundMe. That has nothing
You're lying. You're fucking lying, or you're just ignorant.
To do with any of it.
They approve of it. Why else would you send somebody money to, oh, let's make sure we save her from harassment. So she deserves to not be. I personally don't think anybody should be like going to her house or trying to harm anybody, her or her family. That shouldn't be happening. But $700,000? What the fuck? She called a 5-year-old the N-word. She shouldn't be rewarded for that by any circumstance. By any means. She should have thought about that before. She had the chance to walk away from that dude. It could have been all speculation if the moment he started recording and she just walked away and ignored him. He could have made claims that wasn't verified on camera, and I would have been the one on here saying, you know, she didn't confirm nothing. She's ignoring the man. Like, you can't just be like, oh, she said it because he said it. You know what I'm saying? It could have been anything going on. So, but she didn't deny the shit. She kept saying it. She said it again. She don't give a fuck, and y'all rewarded her.
Right now, go to donewithdebt.com. There's
fuck you.
Tough negotiation free. So Metcalf and right now, done with debt.
And I heard Metcalf, so now you finna compare it to, oh God.
What this is really about is Austin Metcalf and racial double standards and mass migration.
What racial double standards? Migration? What?
That's what it's about. And the huge influx of Somalis into Minnesota, which creates racial and cultural tension, just as would occur if you had a mass influx of Minnesotans into Somalia. That's what it's really about.
So you call a child the N-word? Even if you're upset, like that's how you go about your anger, your frustration?
Debate that we're having right now, that Piers Morgan has exemplified so beautifully, is not about free speech. You could say,
well, you're contradicting Lily, sir, because Lily all through that interview kept saying, I support free speech. I should be able to say what I want. I'm a white lady and I use the N-word and I just believe in free speech. That's what she said. So why are you talking about this ain't about free speech? That was her argument, dumbass.
Hey, what if I use this word, this really naughty word that you're not supposed to say? What would happen then? You say, well, it would probably be shocking, because that's the unutterable word, so it would shock people. And it would even probably be pretty funny in a lot of contexts. But it would be vulgar, it would be impolite, it would be ill-advised. If you're it wouldn't be very ladylike, so I'd avoid saying it. And then the person would say, well, what, you don't support free speech? Absolutely. I'd say, no, I don't. Because that's a lib thing.
You fucking idiot. This is her argument. She's the one that brought up free speech. Nobody is upset at her about free speech. That's not the problem. Nobody's saying you don't have the right to utter the words or else you should be thrown in jail. It's the whole scenario of what happened.
And I'm a conservative. So no, I like standards and norms. And there's no such thing as absolute free speech.
No, the fuck you don't. These people, like, do y'all see how contradictory these people are and they stand for nothing? Let's play this out.
So no, I like standards and norms.
Donald Trump. Explain. You don't like standards and norms. You don't. You don't care about free speech. You don't. You don't care about freedom of the press. You don't. You don't care about equal treatment under the law. You don't. You don't care about racism. You don't. You don't care. You say you pro-life. You really don't care about life. Because once it's born, you don't give a fuck. You don't care that white women calling 5-year-olds the N-word. You don't care about women in poverty not wanting a child that they know they can't take care of. You don't give a fuck.
And there's no such thing as absolute free speech because every culture has taboos because we're human beings. Oh.
And it's still free speech. They're still not going to get any punishment under the law.
So then what should we do? What should the conservative response to this be? Should we play along with the ridiculous racial double standards and taboos that the left has installed over the last 30, 40 years? No. You know, even on the matter of the N-word, you know, the phrase the N-word pops up in the 1990s. It's around the O.J. Simpson trial. And who was the guy who got beaten? Rodney King. It was about Rodney King and O.J. Simpson. And specifically O.J. Simpson. Before that, the New York Times was just writing the word out. N-I-G-G-E-R was just right down there in the Gray Lady. The N-word comes up like 30 years ago. But it does actually become a new taboo. Does this mean that should be the one unutterable word and we should go along with the left's standards? No. But likewise, it doesn't mean that we should eradicate all standards entirely. I don't want women speaking like sailors. I don't even think men should speak like sailors, not in public at least.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There are plenty of words I wouldn't say on this show. Many, many words. Because
you're on a show. She's in the fucking park.
Try to make this a wholesome family show, okay? So there are a lot of words. I'll use euphemisms. I'll speak around them. All people use euphemisms. And we use euphemisms to soften harsh realities, and the left uses euphemisms to deny and invert realities that they don't like.
But it's like, you know how easy it is? Even the fact that, like, it's like you said, it's not hard. I use the word bitch, but I literally don't use it to call women that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't, it don't sit well with me to call women bitches. Like, I call men bitches before, and it'd be like, bitch. Like, I won't be like, you a bitch. It's just like it's like a reactionary phrase I use, but I don't call women. It's not hard to use certain words. I used to use the homophobic slur, the F word. I used to use that word a lot, and I don't use that word no more. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not hard to not say certain words. It's just not.
It's
and
okay.
These people acting like it's just like eating them up that they can't use it.
To call a woman of a certain age, to call an old woman a woman of a certain age is perfectly reasonable. That's a polite thing to do. To call a man a woman is the wrong thing to do because it's lying.
Why was this forced narrative to just attack trans people? They will never miss an opportunity to attack trans people. It's like it makes them get off at night every fucking day to know that they had to take a shot at trans people. It never fucking fails that they have to say something about trans people at any cost. We are not talking about trans issues, but now you just had to figure out a way to bring them up. Holy shit.
But it's okay to call a woman of a certain age, to call an old woman a woman of a certain age is perfectly reasonable. That's a polite thing to do. To call a man a woman is the wrong thing to do because it's lying. So the conservative response to this should not be to go along with the left's standards. And the conservative response should not be to blow up standards entirely. It should be to defend appropriate standards. There should be words that are taboo. There should be things that we discourage and punish in society, at least at a cultural level.
Mm-hmm.
Those should be things like sacrilege. Those should be blasphemy. Those should be things like vulgarity.
Bro, everybody don't give a fuck about your religion, bro. Everybody don't give a fuck.
Profanity. Those should be things like threats and obscenity and fraud and libel and slander and all the things that we traditionally have suppressed and discouraged. And the true taboos, taboo is a religious term.
PTJ, I think I am going to make a video on that situation. Man, I wish there was more hours in the day. Man, y'all. So I'm trying to do this full time. I'm going to make a video on that. I got 2 videos that I need to make before I go back to work Sunday. They might be more on the commentary side than the reaction side. But I'm definitely going to talk about the guy that hit the police officer. And I got another one.
The real taboos should pertain to religious things. But these days, we are allowed to and encouraged to profane religious things. The only thing we're not allowed to talk about are the left's hobby horses. Those are what have become but we should have taboos. We should encourage, especially ladies, to talk like ladies. Okay, but men too. Men should talk like gentlemen. And we should just say, no. There are good things, there are bad things. We should discourage the bad things. We should promote the good things. But they got to be really good and really bad, not just some social engineering scheme cooked up by the left to push whatever racial or sexual agenda and fantasy they're trying to push that week. That should be our policy. I am tickled because there's someone underneath just giving me little tickles. No, I'm tickled because have you heard of the show The Last of Us? I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about. My producers called my attention to this clip yesterday. This is a woman talking to another woman about
he
how to
finna
have a
be
child.
mad. He's finna be damn pause. I knew he's finna be mad because she called herself a dad. He's finna be mad because Ellie called herself a fucking dad. Oh my god.
Another woman about how to have a child.
So
it's not about how to have
a baby.
Ain't it interesting how people could just jump and talk about shit they don't know anything about? Like, he just literally said that he knows nothing about The Last of Us, but feels the need to comment on it. Okay.
I mean, we and also, I guess, Jesse or it was Jesse, right? So we're all having a baby. Holy
I'm gonna be a dad.
I'm gonna be a dad. Yeah.
There's no mystical explanation like in that Star Wars show for this. It's not IVF, happily. It's that one of the women, who is a lesbian, slept with a man and became pregnant. The woman does not plan to kill the baby through abortion, so that's good. They're maybe going to...
So that's good. First of all, why are you talking about abortion and these people are in an apocalyptic time where civilization has to rebuild itself and he talking about an abortion? That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't even know nothing about the show, but yet you still talking about it.
Exclude the man from being a father, or maybe the man will still be involved, but then the other woman, the lesbian woman, says, I'm going to be a dad. I'm beginning to see the glass half full because I guess what the show is saying here is lesbians aren't real, and they're saying that gender norms necessarily exist, even so much to the point that one of the women in this same-sex relationship is going to call herself the dad. I mean, this is true slop, degenerate TV, and you shouldn't let your kids watch it, and you shouldn't watch it yourself probably. But it's
not a show for kids.
I'm seeing at least a kind of hint at or inclination towards something that is true. I don't want to know anything more about it.
Then why'd you, like, he literally knows nothing about the show. And it's, I mean, to be fair, it's not like this super intricate storyline to it. He, for the most part, got the grasp of what was happening in that scene. But for you to sit there and make a short about it and you don't know anything, it's just fucking stupid. I don't know why you would do that. But that was stupid. Look, she can say she's going to be a dad the same way Michael say he's... Right, I'll let you call yourself a fucking human, a normal functioning sentient being. She could be a dad, bro. If she wants to be a fucking dad, she can be a dad. He just, like I said, they just have to always make sure they find a way to attack homosexuals and trans people. Like, they don't, as long as that happens, their day is made, they can nut in peace and go to sleep. Like, that's all they fucking need. And it's so annoying, I swear to God. Like, Jesus Christ. To just be so obsessed with gay people and trans people to this extent. Oh, Ye dropped the Hail Hitler. Why is Michael Knowles talking about GTA 6? All right, y'all, I'm sorry. This probably we're gonna wrap it up after this.
Before we get to TD2 and all that too, I do have breaking news that we are going to get to early on in this.
Yeah.
I know the real thing is not going to happen until Elon puts a man on Mars, but they did release another trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 and it just dropped.
Yo,
dude.
Because I look through some of the videos we put out. I go through all the content, some of the more serious content, some of the frivolous nonsense content, some of the crossovers, and the most recurrent
Let's watch
comment.
a GTA 6 trailer through the lens of Michael Knowles. Yeah, I can't wait either. I just really wish we had a gameplay trailer, but
wow, we got Michael doing such and such before we got GTA 6. It keeps coming up. When is GTA 6 coming up?
After we land on Mars.
I know, I guess so. There's a trailer. I mean, look, when I was a kid, I played very few video games. Call it 4. Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo, GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, Super Smash Brothers, and Grand Theft Auto Vice City. One of those things is not like the other. I really liked it because it was so shockingly degenerate that the synapses in my brain just exploded when I first saw a guy just snipe someone's head off on a roof. So I have a little nostalgia, actually, for this truly degen video game. Take it away.
This whole degen shit. Why
What you
can't we
doing up
have
there?
entertainment?
Just
fixing
some leaks. Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
I want to
Dude,
see
the graphics are crazy.
I just wanted to be known that they said that this whole trailer was shot on the PS5, on the base PS5, and they said it had gameplay and in-game footage or whatever. Ain't no damn gameplay in this trailer. Ain't no gameplay in this. Or if it is, it's not significant gameplay, if there's gameplay at all.
Man, this is unbelievable.
I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I seen you here before.
You might have.
Right, Tron. Right.
Hey.
Hey.
This shit got me gassed, but I want gameplay. Oh yeah, Nova, you got time. You got time, but you need to. If you're gonna get one, you need to get it now, because who knows what these tariffs gonna do to these. Xbox already went up on their prices, but fuck Xbox. Get you a PlayStation.
The new beginnings.
Because I know this shit not dropping on PC anytime soon.
Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Ring the bell! Shots, baby!
The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got.
Gonna do this?
This shit gonna be cold. Like, I'm sorry. This game is gonna be so fucking raw. Like, man. Oh,
Yo, D, this full effect? And they got your name, address, they got everything.
When are they gonna start shooting people?
You got
Degenerate? What?
protect each other.
It's kind of a compelling movie so far, and I can't get over the graphics. But the only reason to do GTA is to just like shoot people, right?
But you kind of have to.
It's also a bit racier than it was. I mean, I remember in Vice City, you'd go like pick up a hooker and then the car would shake and it was very suggestive.
Yeah, that's all you remember, huh? Is when you pick up a. Is that even in Vice City? I know it was in San Andreas, but was that in Vice City too, where you could get the prostitutes and get the car bouncing?
And then you'd go like shoot her and take the money. This is a very degenerate.
That's about degenerate.
Irreligious era to play this. The graphics are just stunning, though. I mean, it's actually it seems as though it could be a pretty compelling.
That part where she jumped looked like it could possibly be gameplay. Outside of that, none of this looks like gameplay.
The graphics are just stunning, though. I mean, it's actually
that part, and barely. It looks like it's a cutscene from gameplay.
It seems as though it could be a pretty compelling story.
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook?
And it's LA, right? This is a remake of Vice City.
It's not LA, Miami, fucker. Yeah, ain't
Or
no
I'm sorry, this is
gameplay in
Miami.
that. Ain't no gameplay in that shit.
Right,
Ain't
the
no
San
gameplay.
Andreas was LA. Yeah, wow. I got a lot more to say. First,
Okay,
though,
to be fair, he knew that San Andreas was LA. To be fair, he got that correct.
go to expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles. You live in third privacy. Or safe to Knowles press game. It was I'm actually pretty impressed by it in a couple of different ways. It seems like they've really elevated their game. It was a little bit more suggestive sexually than the original, but that was probably just technological
You
limitations.
steady talking about Vice City and San Andreas. Did you play 4 and 5, motherfucker? Like, did you play those?
Previously, it was like, the car would just shake, but nothing was pornographic, at least in there. And there wasn't a lot of shooting people in the head.
Why would they? They don't have to show that in a trailer for us to play GTA. We know we can do that. That's not that people. As much as they want to pretend like everybody's love of GTA is about killing random people, that's not why we love GTA. It's just an aspect of the game. Nobody be like, man, I can't wait to just be a mass murderer and shoot people in GTA. That's not how people engage with this fucking game.
I assume that'll all be in the game because that's the whole point of the game. But it was
It's not the point of the game either.
Much more developed story to it. Wow.
Okay, I don't know if I could. Maybe I should give him more rope.
I don't know. What's your take? Am I?
Yeah, you're off.
Am I wrong to think that
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto has actually elevated itself as a work of art?
I think that just tells you what kind of mind that he's have. Maybe he's like hiding who he really is on the inside. Tron, you is a different breed, my nigga. You is a different breed.
No, I think it looks great too. I just wish I had time to play it. I don't know when you and I would ever have time to play again.
I'm a grown man with 3 children, so I will never in my life play that video game. It won't be possible. And I don't know that
Why wouldn't it be
it
possible?
should. I probably shouldn't. anyway. But if I were a teenager, I would be tempted.
He want to play that shit. He want to play that shit. He missing that point in his life since he wants to be a full-blooded Christian.
Now, the problem is these video games are not good to play because we are mimetic creatures. So you play it and you're gonna
crime doesn't go up for anybody that plays video game. There's no link to video games and committing crime. So what are you saying?
Just gonna start to take on some of the habits and inclinations of the video.
You're making that up. People play Call of Duty and Fortnite ad nauseum. Like, those are two of the biggest games ever, which is centered around killing people. Why isn't there more murders en masse, period? Call of Duty and Fortnite. Little kids are playing Fortnite at 6 years old. We're not seeing a dramatic increase of kids killing people or adults. There's not no dramatic increase of it. We've been playing Call of Duty since PlayStation 2. Bro, you're making shit up. You're making shit up. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, like, the right loves to act like all we do is consume left-wing media and then recite talking points. These are people and Trump on the right out of their mouths lying and saying shit that makes no fucking sense. There's been countless studies that's been told us time and time again there is no correlation of violence in video games and real world violence. And yet you're still purporting that. Why, Matt? Why? Why are y'all allergic to the facts and truth of the matter? It's so fucking nauseating.
Play it, and you are just gonna start to take on some of the habits and inclinations of the video game. Even if you're playing it totally ironically, totally consciously, we're still creatures of habit and passion. So it's like,
no, I'm not saying no. Yes, we are creatures of habit, but it's not to fucking kill people. That's not a habit you create. Because we know as long as you understand there's real world consequences. Yeah, they don't like people enjoying shit. Like, why go see a movie? I'm sure your favorite movie isn't some fucking Christian movie or some shit. It's probably an action film. I could be wrong, of course. But you probably like some action film, probably. He's an actor. Michael Minogue is an actor. So you enjoy film. You probably enjoy a range of films. I'm finna give myself a headache.
I remember I was learning to drive, and I played Grand Theft Auto.
He's telling on himself.
Out of Vice City so much, and I so enjoyed driving my car into guys coming the opposite way on motorcycles. And I'm driving in my hometown, and I see a guy on a motorcycle, and I had for an instant. And
everybody has had these random thoughts of doing things that's crazy. You're not unique, and it wasn't because you play GTA. People in real life drive and be like, I wonder what would happen if I just ran my car into this motherfucker that just cut you off. Well, if I hit this motherfucker on this bike right now because they in the way and won't get out the road, if I hit their ass, we don't do it because we know it's real world consequences. If life was a video game and I could hit the biker that's slowing me down and he would just drop back down in 10 seconds with no repercussions or nothing and everybody could go about their day, I would do it too. But that's not how real life works, so we don't do shit like that unless we're already psychotic and it has nothing to do with a video game.
Impulse to get into the other lane and hit him head on. I actually did. I thought,
man, it was because of Grand Theft Auto. I wanted to do that. Oh, damn, maybe I should stop playing Grand Theft Auto because I had a normal thought that normal people have.
I'm playing too many video games. Okay.
What? Did he just say it's because he played too many games?
So I'm driving in my hometown. I see a guy on a motorcycle, and I had, for an instant, an impulse to get into the other lane and hit him head on. I actually did. I thought, oh man, I'm playing too many video games.
These people are liars. Like, bro, like you see, like these people are impossible. You're such a liar. That was not your thought. Oh, I went to hit a guy. Man, I played too many video games. Huh? Babe, sell the PlayStation. Bro. This is bullshit. Holy fuck. Fam, I'm sorry. If you watch, when I make this into a video and you're on the right and you've made it to this point, this is the shit that y'all watch and believe. I'm talking to you. You believe these people when they say shit like this. He thinks that because he wanted to hit somebody on the road, which is something everybody probably contemplated, like, damn, what will happen if I do this shit? It don't mean you really gonna do it. His immediate thought was, man, I've been playing too many video games. Nigga, what? You think people didn't think that? First of all, Where did the first murderer come from? It wasn't from video games. Where did the first fucking psychotic deranged person that did the most psychotic deranged shit get the ideas from? Video games are a manifestation of things that's happened in real life. It ain't people that's just at home like, man, the video games rotted my brain. No, that shit would have happened in video games or not. This is so fucking stupid. I hate these people. They're so dishonest. They're so fucking disengaged with reality that it's unreal. He really thinks that nobody's ever had that thought that didn't play video games or some shit like that. Like that, yeah, like you said, weak-willed. Like, you like, oh, video games. Get the fuck out of here. That's nobody. Even if that let's say that was the cause, you wouldn't even think that right away. That wouldn't be your first thought. Why wouldn't you think it from a fucking movie? Why wouldn't you? People probably consume more movies than video games on average. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people that play video games, he don't seem like he was a hard video gamer. You probably watch more movies where people got hit by cars and shit like that. Right. He probably thought sex really was just two people sitting in the car next to each other while it bounced it because of video games. If y'all remember, when you did have sex with prostitutes in GTA, both of y'all was just sitting in the car. They was just sitting there, and it was like they didn't even move on top of each other, anything of the sort. Y'all was just sitting there and the car moved. Fucking annoying as fuck. Oh God, I hate these people. But we're going to call it, man, for today. Should have, hopefully, at least one video out this weekend. The 2 videos going to take a lot of editing, so I'm going to get to them. If y'all still here, man, make sure you share the videos, share the stream. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subs by the 4th of July. That is the goal. I want to get to 5,000 subs. It's a big goal, but I think it's possible, man. We're going to try to do it together. And I need y'all help. If you here, make sure you leave a like, man. Appreciate y'all, Novatron. Everybody else that was in here, PTJ, Watts, Alex, you feel me? TJ, Brickashaw, all y'all, man. But yeah, if you made it to this part of the stream, man, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all 3. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.